Hey, one time. Did it one time for your mind. Happy Valentine's, but not mine. Now, what am I talking about? I don't know. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Happy Valentine's Day to all of the young ladies in the world. And yes, I said young ladies, because I personally, we ain't gonna get it. We can get into it if you want to, but I frankly think that Valentine's Day is mainly for the ladies, but that's probably sexist. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It's good to see everybody today. We will be joined by a very special guest, a gentleman by the name of Bechir Sylvain, as you've seen him most recently in the Wonder Man series, which is currently airing live, all 8 episodes on Disney Plus. He will be joining us at the top of our second hour, so be ready for that. And you've seen him in some projects. Not only was he in Wonder Man, but may have been in another project where he presented himself as quite the tasty treat in Jurassic World. Oops, spoiler alert. But let's go ahead and keep this going. I'm your boy, the real Vince Taylor. Yes, it is me in the flesh. How's it going, y'all? Hope y'all are doing well. And I am joined today by none other than my homies. We got the one and only Bad Ty here for a little while. What's going on, Bad Ty? And check it out. We even got the lovely Bree of Bookish shouting out from the West Coast. What's going on? With a whole library army behind her. Yesterday, it's the new Blurred Order, baby. We're going to go ahead and chat it up. So tell a friend, like, share, comment, and let's have some interactive discussion with some of this blurred stuff. Let go. Tell him who he is, Amanda.
All right. Let me figure out. I'm here. I'm trying to figure out how to do it.
What did you do? It's awkward, man.
All right. It's awkward. All right.
What you doing, man?
Hi, guys. It's Amanda Christine here, and I love the new Blurred Order. You guys should watch it.
All righty, guys. It's good to see y'all. Good morning. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just gonna keep it 100, man. My day started crazy. I was telling Bree, I came down to my studio to start getting prepared for the show, and I normally start my day by making a quick cup of coffee. I went to make that cup of coffee, and my power went off in the whole studio, and not the house, just the studio portion, like where I'm sitting right now. Like, and it was, you know how when that happens, you go and you push the button, like the little breaker thing, you know, the little button that turns red. Sometimes you're like, oh, it's just the. Well, it wasn't that. So I went to the breaker, wasn't that. And I was like, oh, so that's what it's going to be. So literally as we speak, I got like 8 extension cords that are reaching from like my kitchen all the way into my studio, just so I can plug in my laptop and my computer and my lights and stuff so I can do this. So that kind of freaked me out. And then it took all that time. While I'm doing that, I didn't have time to prepare for the show like that. So I'm sitting there like, oh, snap, I don't got no link. I don't got no nothing. So I had a high anxiety attack. I freaked out. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And like right when I started getting at my worst, like I look up and this angel appeared on my screen. By the way, of Bree Brooker. She was just like, Usa. All right, stroke the furry wall. All right, stroke the furry wall. It's gonna be all right. Count with me backwards from 10. And so everything ended up turning out all right. So good way to start off my Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Bree Bookish.
Happy Valentine's Day. It's all about. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
What's up, Ty?
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, Bree. Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah.
I mean, do we supposed to wish each other happy Valentine's Day? I've never done that before.
I feel like it's appropriate. You know what I mean? Like Valentine's Day is all about love, man. It's all about love. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I still, my mom is always gonna be my Valentine's. I'm always gonna love my mom. I'm always gonna call her and wish her a happy Valentine's Day. Most of any lady friends that I have, of course, is hey, happy Valentine's Day, just in case the loved one didn't say it. And you know, I think we should step out there on the plank and just say, hey, Vince, happy Valentine's Day, brother. Happy Valentine's Day.
Nah, man, I'm cool, man. I don't need it, man. You know,
I love
right,
you
well,
though. I love you though, bro. I love you. I love.
man.
Thank you. See, that's all I was trying to get. Just say it, man. These three words, short and simple. Woo! Come on, baby.
Yo, so all right. Maybe before we get into like some of the nerd chat, we do have a new trailer from Invincible that was released. We also have the Knights of Seven Kingdoms to talk about. We also have a new Spider-Man Noir trailer that we may or may not get into because it looks like the whole entire series is going to be in black and white, which I know Ty loves. Jason Momoa.
That's not true. By the way, that's not true. It's not.
All right.
No, there's a new trailer that dropped. I thought I sent it to you. And the entire show is not in black and white. It does split from color to black and white. So that is definitely I'm happy. I'm excited.
Okay. All right. So we got that to look forward to. We also have, if I'm not mistaken, there has been some chat about Jason Momoa being cast in a live action Helldivers movie or project of sorts, which, hey, Helldivers, that's my shit now. I fuck with little Helldivers. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk on that. But since we do have Bree Bookish here, I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't also include the fact that she this week on Pink Riot had on the Nigel verse and some comic book writers and illustrators, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Talk just a little about that so we can know to go look for that. Yeah, man, give us a where they can find that info.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So Pink Riot has partnered with Megascope. It's a black imprint under Abrams Comics Art, and they're putting out black speculative titles. And so this year we're having guests on each month who are artists and creators of the current Megascope title line. So we just recently had both the creators for Hard Ears and one of the creators of Devour on the show, and it was a vibe. So we got to chat with them about those particular Megascope titles, what else they have going on, and it was just a really good time. We were glad we got to connect with them and see like their comic book origin stories and where these particular titles came from. Like Devour is a Anansi the Spider retelling. Pretty dope. And even if you haven't read anything Anansi, I know you've seen your boy's characterization of Anansi. What was the name of that show? American Gods. He did the dope like monologue on the slave ship.
Mr. Nance. Mr. Nance.
Yeah, so she's saying she's pronouncing it the right way, and we were all we didn't know. Which is why we didn't know who the hell you was talking about. We call him Papa Nancy. Yeah, Nancy.
Yeah, there's lots of different pronunciations. It's all good. But yeah, he actually did like a quote for that book on the cover of it because he like gave his stamp of approval on her interpretation of the trickster god. So yeah, it's pretty dope. So that's if you haven't already, definitely run and go cop that Hard Ears and Devour. I like to recommend people buy it from Sister Sci-Fi. It's a Black woman owned online bookstore because I feel like if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it right. You feel me? But yeah, it was a vibe. So if you haven't already, like, check out Pink Riot Comic Show, and the show is up on YouTube. And yeah, it's a vibe.
Yes, it is. I checked it out the other night. Very entertaining. They keep it live. They keep it spicy. And they definitely ask the questions. And I ain't gonna lie, like I'm a sucker for Caribbean anything, you know. So to hear those dudes sit there and geek out with Caribbean accents, talk about all of their little stuff, that was like hella cool. All right, just to flash forward a little bit. I don't want to necessarily get y'all to, we don't have to weigh in heavy on some of these things, but I am curious about your take on some of this new information. So like I did mention to you before, Invincible has a new trailer coming out, but I don't know if y'all know, Anthony Starr is starting to try to do his own stunts, and I don't think he likes it.
Fuck my life. Fuck this. Fuck off.
No, not this high.
Fucking cunts.
He normally just lands.
Holy shit. Okay. Please, Iska. Fuck off.
Yo,
Fuck
that's
off.
everything. Now you see why Peter Parker, why Tom Holland, why he bashed his head and stunts. Like, it's real. Like, this is why folks get paid to do this kind of stuff. I know our good friend Zaina is in the stunting and all that, but yeah, I don't know. Bree, things get real. It's different when you're reading the lines on the page, but then when they lift you 100 feet in the air, I don't know how you would react. If we put you in are you scared of heights, anything like that?
Listen, I like roller coasters and stuff like that, but that moment where your stomach jumps in your butt when there's a drop in a roller coaster or whatever, I always have that extreme deep regret. It goes away, but like on a roller coaster, you have it and then it's gone. That right there is an absolute nope. Because my stomach would be in knots being that high off the ground trying to do something in a harness too. And I have a friend who does he teaches skydiving and because he just loves it. It's like adrenaline rush stuff for him. And he keeps trying to get me to go do it. And I'm like, absolutely not. And it's mostly because I'm too much of a nigga. And I'm going to tell you why. Because in my head, before I do things, I have the thought of if I die and I have to have this conversation with our good Lord and explain to him why I did this foolishness and that's why I died, I'm going to be embarrassed. So I'm like, you know what? We're just not going to put ourselves in that position to have that conversation. I'm going to stay my butt on the ground, okay?
Yo, you think it's a lot of people up there, adventurous people? I mean, I'm low key a little bit like that, but I'm chilling now. That are in line talking to a guy like, yeah, I was in India and there was this bungee jumping.
I lost my way, man. I don't know, how do you explain yourself? Like, I know you gave me everything and I just decided to jump out of a plane. Come on, man.
Yeah. Oh, so did you die defending my honor? No. Was it protesting ICE? No. Was it because you were making sure that the word of God was? No. I was bored and I decided to jump out of off a bridge right quick and snap my neck. Here I am. Help me, oh Lord. Yeah, that's not happening. I know my man Ty.
I'm a little early. It's all
good. I know my man Ty ain't never doing nothing like that at all. But what I do know is that because I'm all right. Well,
no, I said sounds about black. Yeah,
sounds about
black. sounds about black. Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is, man. So I do want to circle back on the Valentine's combo, but before I do want to get your opinion, Ty, on what we just talked about, which is that we are now looking at a potential live action Helldivers movie. Now, you and I are both Helldivers, right? And kind of we do the Helldive thing. Does this make you?
We haven't lately, but yeah, we.
There's a lot of democracy. Yeah,
a lot
being distributed right now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But are we excited about this? I mean, listen, Bree might now be excited in Helldivers because Jason Momoa is now attached to the project. That's kind of how it works, right? I was wondering, like, at one point in time, my wife came to me. She's like, I know we're going to see Aquaman, right? I'm like, wow, who's, oh, okay. Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, we had to go see it for science. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Science, for research. For science. Yo, Ty, what you think, man? Are we geeked up? Are we nervous? I mean, he was in Minecraft too, and evidently that went well. I didn't see it. You say you saw it.
It was cute.
It was cute. It was cute. Yeah, I think this is going to help the movie. It's a movie. Okay, you think it's going to help the movie? You excited about this?
I don't know if I'm excited about it. I mean, I feel like, we played Helldivers. Helldivers is a bona fide Starship Troopers.
Yes, it is.
So if it plays like Starship Troopers, I think it'll be entertaining. I think it'll be action packed. But one thing about Jason Momoa, man, I'm hoping that he's found it. I think he's doing a lot of movies and his experience is getting more and more better. And I just hope that he finds that comfortable medium, because he either overacts or underacts, but he never just like hits it. And so I don't know, man. I think, I'm more excited about his role as a Lobo. I think that is 100% him. It is not a serious role. He can be his kooky, wild, funny self. He could drink beers and do the stuff that he does in real life, mind you. So like I think as long as you're asking Jason Momoa to be Jason Momoa, then I think you're good. It's when you start asking him to step out of that comfort zone and you start getting a little bit, you're like, but action, I think is good.
Or when you tell him to shave his facial hair, he gets a slew of hate. Like, did you see when? Yeah, he looked a little different. I ain't gonna say what he looked like. I'm just gonna say he looked a little different. So let's hope that goes well. Back to this combo real quick, because I do think that this is interesting, and we probably only have once a year to talk about this. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. What's good? Oh, Elijah Muhammad Ty.
Yeah, don't speak that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you dare speak that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yo. So we were having a quick conversation, and some of it's not really serious, but I do like, Bria. Look, maybe you can help be a moderator here. I don't want to get too personal, so shut me up if I'm going too far. But do you celebrate Valentine's Day, Brie?
Yeah, I do. I'll say that I understand where your like feelings about, oh, it should just go this way or whatever could potentially come from, but I have to politely disagree. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day in the way that a lot of people do, because it's very much like a cash grab, and it turns everything to like, oh, everything has to be what I bought for you or what I'm giving to you or whatever. So I think it's more of just a day to like celebrate love and appreciation in whatever form it takes. That could mean like a romantic relationship, it could be in a platonic relationship, it could be celebrating your self-love for yourself, like any of these things. I am a pink and hearts girly pop every day of the year. So when all Valentine shit starts popping up, I'm like, ooh, it's made for me type of energy. But but I agree with Ty. Like, if you're celebrating love, and whether y'all call it that or not, I know y'all have a lot of like friendship love or brotherly love for each other. So I think it's more than appropriate to like big each other up on Valentine's Day, because it's not just about romantic love, you know what I mean? Or that's what I try to like encourage around me, because people are better versions of themselves when they know how much they're loved in any capacity, even like for themselves. So yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna keep it real. That's refreshing, because that's not how my Valentines have been for the last 20 years. They've been more, hey, take me to dinner, get me some flowers, and that's what I do. And we make it work, and I do it for my daughters as well to make sure they feel loved. But Ty, let me just ask you this, my friend: you planning something for Valentine's Day?
Absolutely, every Valentine's. I got a whole wife, man. Shit, I can't. Like you just said, they tell us and we listen. You know what I mean? Like, if your wife says, you better do something nice for me, then you better do something nice for her. Like, unless you want the rest of the week after Valentine's Day to not be a good week. But I really feel like it's an opportunity to go a little bit over top. Like, of course, we love our wives 365 days of the year. Period. But there's this one day, even though they have more than one day, but we're not going to get into that. But there's one day specifically that is dedicated to showing the appreciation, showing the growth in your relationship, showing how you feel about that person. And it doesn't always have to be monetary. Yeah. Just quietly, I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm doing for my wife. So she might hear. So I'm cooking her a very romantic dinner, candlelight,
yes,
wine. I'm going outside my comfort zone. I'm cooking Chilean sea bass with some raw shrimp,
period.
and then some vegetables, you know what I'm saying? And then after we eat, then I got the foot thing that you stick your feet in and you
Like soaker
wash
massage.
and you clean the feet. I'm gonna do all of that like Jesus, like they did for Jesus.
Come on, cater to you, moment.
Yeah. I'm gonna do all of that. I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Oil it down real good. I got a massage table. Yo,
Whoa!
Bro, listen. I'm trying to have the rest of the year good. I'm trying to have the rest of the year good. Like, matter of fact, like look, listen. I play my Valentine's days like I want to get like credits so that when I fuck up, I could be like, no Valentine's Day coming next year, right? You don't want,
while I 100% respect the game and appreciate the effort, your married math is a little off because it is credits. And it's not like I'm going to remember those things because I want that or better for Valentine's Day next year. What you're doing is accumulating health so that in the eventuality of you fucking up or forgetting something or whatever, you have that restorative health built up of like, I'm not close to killing him all the way because I still have the warm and fuzzies from this other thing that he did. So you're correct in that you're accumulating points, but it's not for what you thought it was. But that's okay because you're putting in the effort, and that's all that really matters.
Thank you, Bree. You know me so well. I literally live my life like Link and Zelda. I'm collecting hearts along the way, trying to make sure that my survivability is at top peak. So I do fuck up a lot. I have been known to.
Players fuck up. It's like that.
Listen. I fuck up a lot, and listen, my wife loves me nonetheless. But I think it does have something to do with the fact that I spoil it on days like this.
Literally, when she gets mad, she can be like, you know what? He's a good man, Savannah. It's not even that bad.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, you going all the way out, man. Like, yo, the foot, when you put feet involved with anything, like it's real.
Listen, when your wife is a principal who stands on her feet walking around all the time. And every day she comes home, Mom, my feet hurt. I rub her feet every day. But what I don't do every day is pull out the water and wash them and go and get the salts and the scrubs and all of that kind of stuff. So those are the moments where you gotta, like, you know what I'm saying? And then you gotta have the ambiance. You gotta have the music, soft music playing in the background. You gotta have the candles lit all over the room. You gotta give you know what I'm saying? You gotta have it all together, man. Like my thing is, whenever it comes to my wife, I'm gonna do the top tier because I don't want nobody else ever thinking that they gonna come in here and do something that she gonna be like, oh my gosh. Nah, she gonna be like, you need to step it up if you're trying to take me away from him because he's him. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me.
Tino's ball.
You handling your bees, man. If I ain't know no better, it almost sound like you trying to marry your wife.
Hey, man.
And that's how it should be. Period. Tino's ball, okay? I'm gonna give credit where it's due. You're doing your big one for this Valentine's Day, and I'm glad you understand the marriage mechanics, math of all of that, because you're doing your big one for that. Also, like, I feel like people who don't show up in their relationships for that day don't understand like the hierarchy of the shit, because it's not really just one day. So I'm gonna put y'all on game. So like the 13th is Galentine's, okay? So that's when you should be able to do whatever with her homegirls or her sisters or whatever and show love in that type of way. And a lot of side pieces are getting attention on that day because they know they can't not be present on Valentine's Day. So ladies, if you're catching the vibes on the 13th, just dismiss him immediately, okay? Then the 14th is actual Valentine's Day, okay? That's the big guns. Ty's doing his thing. He's doing it correctly. You know what I'm saying? You got to show up for whoever you're in a relationship with. And yes, is it right? Is it sexist? Whatever. You know, that all of that's up in the air, but it is geared towards women. Whether you choose to celebrate it in that way, that's up to you. That's dependent upon your relationship. But the flip side of that is that the day after Valentine's Day is Steak and BJ Day. People don't know about that.
Hold on.
The day after Valentine's Day is Steak and BJ Day. And if you did your big one on Valentine's Day, I feel like it's self-explanatory. That day after is supposed to be that cater to you moment. So if you're doing it right and you know the days, then it would behoove you to show up. That's all I'm saying. I don't make these rules. This is just how the days run up.
Steak and BJ.
Steak and BJ.
I love
it. But you don't qualify for Steak and BJ Day if you didn't pull up for Valentine's Day. Them's the rules.
Them is the rules. Them is the rules.
Man, I think I broke all the rules, y'all. I broke all the rules.
Or, you know, it's not on the calendar like Valentine's Day is, because, you know, that's not like safe for all environments. So I'm spreading the gospel because those are the actual days and everybody don't know about them. But if you Google it, you'll see it's not just me. It's a real thing.
Hold on for
so y'all handle your business accordingly.
Hey, Vince, I got
right
a
there.
suggestion.
I got a suggestion. On the 15th.
On the 15th, put it on the calendar. Yo, but Vince, I got a suggestion for you too, man, because I did this one last year, either last year or the year before I did it. But I hired a chef to come in and cook for us. Like he literally, this is something this is why I'm telling you, because I know you can do this with no problem. So like I hired a chef, and basically she came home. She didn't know nothing about it. She came home. She walked in, had the glass. We met her at the door. Gave her the glass of wine. Bam, babe. Give me them bags. Let me take them off. You know what I'm saying? Hey, go sit down. Look, the chef is feeding, is like bringing course after course out. Nigga, we sitting there with the candlelight. Look, and look. It cost me probably about $250, $300 for just him, but it was so worth it because we had the three-course meals and all of that kind of stuff, and it was such a simple arrangement for me to do. I got the table, put the sheet over the table, boom, boom, boom. Now we look like we're in a restaurant, but we're home. So yeah, it's intimate, man. Listen, I've learned that the simplest things, if they think that you put the work in for it, that is the response that you get. You get that response like, oh, my baby went and he thought this through. He didn't just, come with the old chocolate and the flowers. Anybody can do that. After a while, that shit gets old. Plus, that chocolate be nasty as well. Anyway, so so after a while, you'd be like, no more flowers. Flowers and chocolate again. Let me guess. So I mean, like, there are things that you could do. The picnics, taking them on a picnic. When's the last time you and Kim went on a picnic?
We went on a picnic a few years back. And she did it. It was her picnic. She brought me to the picnic. She got the basket. She picked the location. I brought the plants and the and some other stuff, and she, I brought and the camera, because you can't go nowhere without having a photo shoot with Kim, and so that was cool. All right, look, I don't even want to tell y'all about me no more because it's gonna make everybody hate me. So I ain't even gonna go.
Oh no,
not at all, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that.
But I've been married just about 20. Just like I've been with my wife, like going on like 25, something years now.
Where's the applause button for that? That's beautiful.
You're right. Yeah. Let's keep it live. You're gonna drown us out. I just heard that. And you gotta understand, like, for the first few years of our marriage, like, I went all the way in for Valentine's. She was working at the hospital at the time, and I would send the big bouquet with the balloons, with the telegram, so that everybody could not only see that she's loved, but also be jealous of her love. You know what I'm saying? I'd have the date set up and all that. But then after like that 15th or 16th year, man, you'd be like, whoo, you know I love you, right? Do I need to show it? Or so what's happened, Valentine's Day has essentially devolved into choose your own adventure Valentine's. And my wife has chosen our last 2 years dates. And I'll tell you why. 1 year, just without releasing too much, this time of year is hella busy for me, right? But my wife still gets my attention, but sometimes since I can't devote as much of it to planning, I might not plan the best thing. I planned a dinner date for us, and she didn't like the dinner or the date or the theater that we were at. And so I was like, you know what, man? What you want to do? Just tell me. Let's just do what you want to do. It's like, okay. And ever since then, like around January, she'd be like, hey, just so you know, don't book nothing for this day because this is what we doing for Valentine's. I'm like,
oh, period.
I'm like, you know what?
So y'all have an understanding.
Yeah. Hey,
the expectation has been shifted because she was like, and you know what? And that's a sign of a very loving and communicative relationship that y'all can meet each other in the middle and say, I know that this not coming out wasn't a reflection of a lack of effort from you. It's just we view things in a different way. And here's how I'm gonna get my lick back. I'm a point and shoot about what we're gonna do, and we're gonna pay for it.
That's right. I'm gonna run that checkup, nigga.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that for her.
So last night we went out, all right, on our Valentine's date to a place called Lizzie Live I'm in the Orlando area. It's in the Orlando live music where they were playing like Motown and Al Green, and we listened to sitting there eating hot. Let's stay together. Little dance here and there, little
dance with the boys.
Get a little dressed up, put on your good robe. You know what I'm saying? Take little pictures, do the valet park and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, we did all that. And also the big thing is today, my daughter, my youngest, she has a volleyball tournament, so we can't even like do Valentine's like for real.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, man, they got us doing volleyball on Valentine's, bro. So
wow.
I ain't mad, but it's a shame. It's a shame. Now, what you also learned about me is I've grown into a whole ogre breed. Like I don't like look, if it ain't MLK Day or Juneteenth, don't talk to me. Like I really don't care about any. My kids have to suffer the same indifference on Christmas. We have collectively.
Oh no, you're a Scrooge, Vince.
Oh yeah, we told this was the first year we not only didn't get the kids no presents, we ain't put up no tree. We was like, well, we ain't get no tree for what? For what? What you want a tree for? You know it's Christmas. Here's your money. Got your gifts. Do what you want. Stop it. It's enough. You are not small children no more. My youngest child is 15. Stop it. It's enough. What did you get for your 15th birthday? Exactly. You have no idea. You don't remember? None of us do. So why contribute to a memory won't even be remembered?
That's not true,
bro. I don't want to. If it ain't black on the holiday, it's worth me paying attention to. That's where I'm at right now.
Boy, God. Vince, you need Cyrano. You need Cyrano de Bergerac. I think that was what his name was. You need somebody where you have an earpiece in, and the nigga's like, all right, tell her that like caress her hand. Now tell her you love her like 1,000 moons. That like
the sun caresses the flowers. Just like that.
Yes. Yeah, like this, bro.
I'm glad we're having this conversation. But in the
God.
meantime, if y'all happen to think of any questions for our upcoming guests who will be showing up more than likely in the next few moments, please let us know. Haitian actor Mr. Bechir Sylvain, who we know from Wonder Man once again, as well as we know him from Jurassic World and a couple other projects. We'll be pulling up here in just a few moments, so don't go anywhere. But let me say this real quick. I also make sure that my kids and my wife don't have to wonder whether or not I love them. I try to overwhelm them with shit outside of the holidays to kind of make the holidays feel completely irrelevant. Like I get my daughter like any of them, TV, trips, whatever, throughout the year randomly. But like, yo, here you go. And then when I give it to them, they be like, thanks. They be like, just what you know. You might not get it for your birthday, but this is something good. You know what I'm saying? You don't even got to wait for your birthday.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man.
I'm trying to desensitize them from the whole grandiose momentous occasion of these holidays and birthdays and just kind of make it a regular thing. And that's just me being a grouch and a grumpy dude. I get it. I'm Walter Matthau. I get it, man. I'm a grumpy old man. I don't know. I've had enough. But enough about me, man. I don't want to sit here and the one thing I will say is if it was truly all about love, mutual love, all right, and I know I'm gonna get kicked in the teeth for this, but if it was truly, I like what Bree did. Bree was like, look, you do something, she do something, y'all equally. But what it's evolved into is it's really Woman Appreciation Day, which is not a problem. That's good. That's a good thing. But let's not pretend it's not what it is. All right, because let me ask the chat, y'all that are in the chat, the ladies specifically, what did y'all do? What did you get for your man on Valentine's? What did you plan for him? What was the big grandiose? Did you send him flowers? Was it no? And if you didn't, it's cool. But it is a little bit more.
Men don't want that though. Men don't want that, Vince.
You got him last year. Same thing you got on this
and
way.
every year. That's only one thing we want. We don't want no flowers. We don't want no chocolate. We don't want no flowers. If anything, go to Victoria's Secret, get you that new lingerie, something I ain't seen you in, and pull up. That's all you got to do. And then look, and listen, we are so simplistic as men. We are so simplistic. Listen, Bree just told you, steak and a BJ. We ain't asking for nothing. We literally ain't asking for nothing. We like, yo, and listen, you can decorate the box however you want, long as the same things are in it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what men. I think if you looked at these holidays differently and looked at them as more of a creative experience, like an opportunity for me to showcase what it is that I can do, because your wife already knows you as a person and knows the base, I'm not gonna say the basic. She knows the foundation of who you are. But there are levels, bro. There are levels, and as long as you keep taking your wife on that ride, that is going to be a journey that she's excited about every single year, because she knows that last year he did this crazy shit. What can I expect this year? Or what do I have to look forward to this year? And I don't mind setting that bar, because when you set that bar, boy, they do some things, you be like, girl, you've been in there. How you been? You wasn't working in the gym. You was in the gymnasium. You stretching differently. I never seen that move. Those things are girl, why you swinging from the chandelier, girl? Stop playing. Like this is those are the things we look forward to, because as a man, especially as a black man in America, there's a lot of times you feel neglected. You feel neglected. You don't always get your flowers. You don't always get the pat on the back. I mean, not that you necessarily need it, but it's something sometimes you do want to be appreciated. And so if me doing these things gives you the space to show greater appreciation for me, I'm good with that. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Plus, I don't have the luxury, Vince, that you have of flying my wife to another country and going and taking trips to, because I have to hear that every day, 365 days of the year. Oh, I wish we could go to Barbados, but you don't fly nowhere. Oh, I wish we could go to Paris, but you won't fly nowhere. I'm like, babe, you could go, but I don't want to go by myself. I want to go with you. FaceTime me. I'll be there with you the whole time. Let's do it. I'm just not getting on a plane. I just
you don't fly?
I do not fly. That is a very known fact. I do not fly and will not fly for nothing. Somebody asked me, they was like, what if somebody gave you $1 million to fly? I'll be like, well, I can get it. I can get it as long as I can drive to it. I'll get it. But if I have to fly, man, keep that money. Save that.
Really? We're gonna have to drug Ty to get him on a plane.
Nah, y'all don't want that. It'll be another episode of Hijack if y'all put me on a plane and I wake up. Y'all don't want that. Trust me, y'all do not want that. I saw La Bamba as a kid. That breed. I don't know if you've ever seen La Bamba.
No.
But for those who know anything about La Bamba, La Bamba. It was a story. It was a story about this Mexican singer named Richie Valenzuela. And he changed his name to Richie Valens. But basically, he had this fear. And this was a good movie, actually, if you ever get a chance to watch it. But he had a fear of flying. He had an absurd fear of flying. And he used to dream and have nightmares that he was going to die in a plane crash. So he never would fly. And then there was one night that there was, of all nights to pick the fly, it was a cold and stormy night. And and he went against the grain that night and died. He went against the grain and got on a plane and literally died. His fear was lived. And ever since seeing that movie, I've always been like, yo, I'm Richie. I'm Richie Valens.
Not you adapted the man's phobia. That's crazy.
Hey, I did. That's why you should monitor what your kids watch at an early age, because that shit can have a lasting effect on their mental for the rest of their lives.
He also seen The Shining when he was like a kid, and he's been in many hotels.
That still had a lasting effect. I'm the same nigga that's like, kill the babies. Don't open up elevators. The babies, the kids, kill them all.
Yeah, no, my sister doesn't mess with clowns like that, because what was that movie?
It.
Yeah.
Clowns, they'll mess you up, man.
Don't mess with clowns because of that. So I feel that. I don't have like a childhood induced phobia, but I understand how one could be birthed. So I have to respect your choice not to fly, Ty. My bad. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I choose life.
Let me just read.
Wait, so our earlier conversation about skydiving, that's why you was like, yep.
Yeah. Listen, man. I don't have that. It's not embedded in me. I don't have that desire to do the like the fast driving, the people that are like, let's get in this Lamborghini and go 215 miles an hour. I don't have that desire. I don't have the desire to go full speed down a hill. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna do you like that, Vince. But I don't have those desires. I don't. Those don't reside in me. I've been in the shootouts and the bullets flying and dodging stuff like that. Those were my growing up days. That's what I've dealt with as far as like the high octane stuff. You know what I mean? When it comes to stuff like that I live in. Like when I tell you, they like shots can go off over here. I don't blink. I like my wife be like, you heard that? I'll be like, yeah, it was.
You heard
like,
not Ty hitting us with the don't spout the deep magic to me, which I was.
Exactly. Come on, what?
Yo, all right. Well, let me just say this real quick. Ty's like, he don't have the luxury of. Yes, he does. He doesn't want to do it. It's not that he can't. It's just that he chooses not to. So it's not that. You could definitely do it.
That's true.
And but I want to just.
I sound like you might need to start going on some cruises. You feel me?
He won't do that either. I'm trying to get him on a cruise. He won't take a cruise either. Now he said he warmed up to it. He warmed up to it. Last we talked about it. He is warming up to it a little bit. But if it involves a flight, he ain't with it.
We did a dinner boat
on Sunday. It's a vibe.
I bet. I've seen Vince on his cruises when he was doing comedy on the cruise ships, and it definitely feels like a vibe, seems like a vibe. I just have trust issues, man, and I've watched enough movies to see those laws. Yeah. I really don't. I would hate to be that guy. And I've told him this because
homicide. Shut up.
Look, listen. I am rooted in Vince offered one time. He's like, yo, nigga, if you just fly, I'll pay for you a flight wherever in the world we go. And I was like, no, like I can't because I said, Vince, what if I do what you asked and then we crash and we die? And then he was like, well, I'll be sorry. I'm like, I can't feed my kids with your sorries.
I can't feed my kids with your sorries.
I just can't. Like, I feel like there are certain people who are like Richie, who are in tuned with the universe in a way that people don't understand. This man knew, and he had dreams about it. Like, that's why I said the movie was such a good thing, because they illustrated his dreams and nightmares of him having these crashes. And he had them from a very, very small age all the way up until his adulthood. So, like, it's to everybody else, it just seems like a fear. But what if it was that he had, because this is a whole different conversation, but what if it is that he had the premonition that this would be a thing, and
but
you don't look
haven't
at it
had
like
a premonition. You watched a movie though.
Well, yeah, maybe.
All I'm saying, and then we could drop it. I don't want to get too deep, but you too much of a G to live your life in fear, not experiencing shit because of somebody else's fear.
That sounds great. Bree. I'm still not flying.
I'm still not doing it.
Still not doing that shit. Like, I'm still not. I refuse to be. Yeah, I refuse to be that guy.
You said the thing about the movies and ships and stuff too, but you've also watched movies of like aliens and superheroes and shit too. So you're gonna stop leaving your house because you're afraid that a superhero's gonna drop a car on you or some shit.
Well,
I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, well, I mean, listen. Like I told you, I have trust issues when in terms of my thing is, if I'm behind the wheel, I trust myself. If you're behind the wheel, I don't necessarily trust.
You're
trust
like, I don't
look. Listen. Vince is another person who really stroked this fear, because one time I was really sick in his car. And he was driving, instead of him being the good friend that would stop, he laughed at me as I threw up.
This is like 2007.
It doesn't matter when it happened. I'm just telling you that because of those, when you are in these situations where your friend who you thought was your homie is laughing at you whilst you are
eat the fish with the eye in it, my nigga.
You were actively laughing at him then?
I was like,
you leave it out so much. You leave it out so much. You leave it out the fish with the eyeball in it. You leave it out that it was 4 a.m. You leave it out so much shit. Like,
am I leaving it out? Yo, Bree, we passed by 3 gas stations. We passed by 3 gas stations, all of which I said stop. I was like, stop right there. He was like,
that was fun.
Stop it. I was like, stop it this one. I was like, right here, stop it.
I told the story before. I had 4 15s in my trunk, but I had like 2 amps, 2500 watt amps, and man, he would be like, "Hey, yo."
Turn the music down.
I'd be like, what? And I'd cut the music off. Ooh. I'm like, what? And then I had, but you know how when you got alcohol in you, the last thing you want to see if you sick is more alcohol. Like, I was taking vodka, I hold it to his face and be like, you want some more? You want to drink some more? You're like, quit.
While you were driving, okay, you know what? Never mind. Forget everything I said.
You've been traumatized.
Yeah.
Since you properly traumatized him.
Yeah, exactly.
He threw up all over my car and shit.
Facts.
Yo, it was so funny. But
see, he's still laughing. He's still laughing. He's still laughing.
Zero remorse. What I'm getting is zero remorse from Vince.
No. I wish we had iPhones back then. I would have so taped the whole thing. I swear, bro. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
But but I do feel bad. But that don't mean it wasn't
No,
funny.
he doesn't. He doesn't feel bad at all. He doesn't because he's still laughing.
So yo, don't forget, guys.
He would have pulled the clip right now if he had a phone back then to record
I
it.
swear, I would. I promise I would. Just in a few moments, we're expecting our special guest, Mr. Bechir Sylvain from AET, who we hope to ask a few questions. I hope you got the right link. I don't know if oh boy sent them the link. But just so you know, we also had the opportunity to interview some other folks just recently. For those that are Star Trek fans like us, we got a chance to sit down with the one and only Tawny Newsome, who gave us some tidbits. We may, I don't know, should we air this right now? Nah, we're waiting for our guest right now. So you will get to see some of the questions we asked, one of which may or may not have made her cry. Yeah. We had an emotional response, and I'm not proud of it because I didn't mean to make her emotional. But I asked her a specific question, and if you stay on the live cast long enough, we'll reveal what the question was and why she reacted in the way that she did. But yeah, Miss Tawny Newsome, who did just recently write not this most recent episode, but the episode before that, episode 5, series Acclamation Mill, and she starred in it as well. She actually was Isla Dax in that particular show. So stick around for a little bit longer and you'll get a chance to hear a little bit about that. So while we're waiting for our special guest to arrive, a couple other, first of all, what the yo, I don't know. I just happened to bump it. I just happened to find the randomest funny. This looks kind of funny for some reason, but I'm interested in what this is. Is this for my single people in the chat? Is this what it looks like to be single on Valentine's? Is this what this is? You can't. What?
You know what? No, Vince.
Say buying my own chocolates and flowers because I'm single. It's fun. Yo,
that is rude. So first of all, I love his videos because he does that stank dance all the time and it's hilarious. However, I resent that that's what you pull up to represent single people on Valentine's Day. Okay.
Sorry. Okay, my bad, Bree. I didn't mean to make you the single person representative. I didn't even know if you were single or not. I didn't mind my business. But yeah, I just thought that this was funny. But that is cool though. I like the concept of self-love on Valentine's, however that is that you may get it. Speaking of love, something that I love, again, in addition to Jason Momoa being in the Helldivers movie, we know that he also is in another video game movie, of which they did recently release a new trailer. I don't know if we can show the whole thing, but they did now release some more footage of the Street Fighter movie, which evidently doesn't look as bad as I originally thought it was going to look. Some of this stuff looks a lot more promising. I am still hella concerned about way too many storylines, too many characters to give too much of a focus on. But Ty, I would be lying if I didn't say that this gave me a little bit more hope that the actual show or the movie is going to have a little bit more promise. What you think?
100%. As soon as I saw that the trailer for it, it piqued my interest. And you know how when we first heard about this, how I was like, nobody asked for this. You know what I mean? I recall my statements very well. I was like, nah, nobody cares. Nobody, you know what I mean? But after seeing this trailer, I am intrigued. I think it will. I'm not sitting here saying it's going to be a masterpiece or it's going to be great, but I think it may, because of how bad the original was, it may give this this property a chance to grow in other ways. So it may be a series that comes out of this because of what you just now said, with it being so many storylines and everything like that. So but again, it looks intriguing. It looks a little intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, Bree, I'm not sure how big of a Street Fighter fan you are or how familiar you are with it, but I mean, does this trailer make you interested in this movie at all? Just curious.
It does. I feel like they're rolling it out in a smart way, because the thing about this, like you asked how much of a Street Fighter fan am I? I'm like, have I played it before? Yes. Would I call myself a huge Street Fighter fan? No, not necessarily. But really, they don't really care about fans specifically. They care about getting butts in seats and triggering enough nostalgia for it to be satisfying for everyone. And they're hitting the notes that I feel like non-fans would need to want to go see it. So I can't speak from like a fan perspective, but they got enough big names. They got enough like nostalgia notes in there that are reminiscent of what your Street Fighter experience might have been if you're an OG fan or like some semblance of a fan. And it's campy enough. Like, I'm glad they didn't go like overly trying to make everything look realistic. They're keeping these like little campy elements that look exactly like the game. And as long as they maintain like that balance, I think it'll be entertaining enough to do well. And then like what you said, like if there's too many story points, they might make it like a springboard or a jumping off point for something else, or like a revamp of a new version of the game or something like that. So if they do it right, I'm excited about it.
Were you about to say something, Ty?
No. I mean, I couldn't add on to that. I mean, she put it that way better than I could have.
I subscribe to everything she just said. I am still just nervous because of the history of Street Fighter. Like, unlike Mortal Kombat, it feels like Street Fighter didn't really, like, I don't know, evolve. We saw in the original Mortal Kombat had part 1, and then, all right, cool. Then the next one they switched up rating. Then they released like a whole new one where they're like, okay, we get it. They gave us a new storyline. Scorpion was the hero instead of Sub-Zero. It was him against his brother. You know what I'm saying? They understood like the assignment was to not necessarily focus on everybody, but focus on one with some side elements. I'm just hoping that that's what they're smart enough to do in this element, and I guess we'll just have to see. I'm also wondering, Ty, this one's for you specifically. I think you're actually the one that dropped this. It looks like there's some hope, no confirmation, but there may be some hope that we may be seeing your boy Cavill back in a cape. As for how true this is, I'm not 100% certain. It looks like it's kind of speculation at this point, but it looks like there's a desire to do so. It don't seem like that makes a lot of sense. But what's your first reaction, homeboy, when you hear this information or see
this? Probably isn't true. This is probably more fan service. However, there is validity behind it. I mean, there are a lot of fans that really enjoyed Henry Cavill as Superman, and some that don't want to let go. And if what was his name? Zack Snyder is allowed to do more projects with Netflix. One of the things that I think he's ultimately said numerous times is that he is not satisfied with the way that the Justice League saga ended. He had more that he wanted to do, and more that he wasn't allowed to do, or and whatnot. So, you know, if Cavill is with it, then I'm with it, because I'm a Cavill fan at this point, because I feel like he's one of the few actors that makes his determinations based on the actual, you know, storyline, not necessarily storylines, but the comics and whatnot, the games and the histories and all of that kind of stuff. So he's very much immersed in that. So yeah, if this is possible, then yeah, I'm all for it.
Go ahead, Bree. Bree got.
Somebody in the chat said they got to let this go, and I agree about them letting the Superman piece go. However, direct that energy towards bringing him back as whatever universe's Wolverine, because he had all of 3 seconds in the Deadpool Wolverine movie as Wolverine, and I was here for every second of it.
Okay. You know what? That's not a bad.
Look, I didn't care about Cavill as Superman, but I loved Cavill as The Witcher, and I don't know who was smoking whatever when they fumbled that ball, but I love him as The Witcher. And then he pulled up as Wolverine, and I was like, yeah, give me a whole trilogy of those movies. I'm set. I'm here for that.
Yo, I didn't even think about that. He did play. I mean, now if we do Wolverine with Henry Cavill, then that means we got to do Wesley Snipes as Blade again. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm here for that too. Sign a bitch up.
Yeah, I'm up for it. Yo, I don't know, Ty. I'm a little more with Bree on this one. Like, I feel like the time for Henry Cavill, we've already said our goodbyes. He did that weird thing at the end of the Black Adam movie.
Black Adam, yeah.
And at the end of the Flash, and I don't know. I feel like Henry Cavill's glory days with DC Comics are over, at least as in the role of Superman. Now he could pull a Jason Momoa and resurface as a villain or as something different, but as I think we've already signed on to what's old boy's name? I forget. The new Superman, whatever his name is, the dude with the underwear outside his tights again.
I wouldn't say that. It's just more like if you bring Cavill back as Superman, the other people around him, it wouldn't make sense for them not to come back in their roles either. So it's kind of like they messed up the opportunity to make it work properly.
Well, Bree, that's kind of what I'm saying is if you see how the DC is doing it, where they have Matt Reeves running his own universe, kind of despite the fact that they have their own thing going on with the DCEU or DCU. I enjoyed I don't remember her name, but the young lady who played Wonder Woman. I enjoyed the black I enjoyed the black dude that played Cyborg. I'm one of the few people that enjoyed Batfleck. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed him. So if Netflix decides to give Zack Snyder a budget and they say, okay, we're going to give you an opportunity to finish your storyline or finish whatever it was that you think, because in Zack Snyder's universe, Darkseid exists in his universe already. So if that was the whole project and the whole plan to introduce Darkseid, to have those battles with it, that is what Doomsday. You got Doomsday. You already introduced Doomsday. You already introduced Darkseid. So I'm just saying, there's always been a whole lot of iterations of Superman, whether it's Smallville, whether it's Lois and Clark, whether it's whatever. So there's been a multitude of iterations. So one doesn't stop the other, is what I'm saying. So if they're continuing to do what they're doing with the makeshift Superman guy that they have now, Tyler, no, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know where that came in. But the makeshift Superman, then I don't see why Henry Cavill, if he's interested, wants to come back and finish those movies that Zack Snyder had on the docket. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. I hadn't thought about that, having like two different DC situations happening in different mediums. Yeah, I'm here for that if that's the case. My thought was like, okay, if they've already kind of closed that chapter, there's no way they can bring it back in that way and make it make sense. But if there's two different things happening, I'm here for that, because I would prefer him over the other Superman. So, you know what I mean?
I've heard rumblings about there possibly being a second Brightburn coming. So and I don't know how true that is, but if that happens, and now you have, because the only way that you can cross over, and I'm being honest here, the only way that you can cross over the Brightburn universe to the Superman universe is if you use Zack Snyder's iterations, because otherwise you're taking a very dark universe in Brightburn and trying to mix it with a not so dark universe in terms of the way that James Gunn is going with the Superman, Supergirl, Lobo thing. It doesn't seem nearly as dark as the Brightburn series, but Zack Snyder's the Snyderverse did. The Snyderverse had Superman in his black costume, and that when I still remember that scene where he's on the ship and he's fighting Darkseid's acolyte. And he pulls up in that black suit. Yeah, when he's like, oh, there he is, there. And Gail Gadot is like, Kal-El, and then all of a sudden that nigga just starts. All of the ground starts moving around him. I was like, so there were aspects of the Snyderverse that were really good, and there was aspects of the Snyderverse that was really bad. If he can find a way to kind of limit the bad parts and kind of further the good parts, I think there was something there. There was definitely something there.
Yeah, it was something there. It's just the fact that they fumbled all the way through it. Like they did Justice League, and then they had to make the Snyderverse, which was 2 versions, and then they upped it. Like you don't have to remake. There was no, this is the Avengers Snyderverse. This is the Feige of nah. They made it once and it was enough, and so that's the thing. That's why I think that the Gunn verse is trying to like establish a whole new brand that just moves forward with one vision instead of having Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder both give their visions of Superman and the Justice League and whatnot. So, and I'm gonna keep it real. Like, as much as I wanted to go into that Superman movie hating it, I liked it. I really did like it. And I liked Crypto. I liked seeing him take on all of those, I forgot the name of those things where he went completely ape shit and just started like with just eye gouging everybody, you know what I'm saying? With his sorry, the music's in my head too, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I'm here for all that. That's funny because like real quick side story. And by the way, just full disclosure, I don't know what's going on with Bechir. He may not show up. So if he don't show up, then we have plenty of other things to discuss outside of that. And it might even take a little bit of weight off our shoulders, if I'm being honest. So don't trip. If he shows up, great. If not, then we'll have plenty to talk about. But I got my nephews, right? My nephews that are in Pasadena that I only get to see ever so often. And they know me as like nerdy because Uncle Benny. This is how they call me, Uncle Benny, Uncle Benny, Uncle Benny. And then they'll call me like, Uncle Benny, I got an Optimus Prime and I got a Bumblebee. And like everything they got, like everything that's like nerdy or anything, that they just can't wait. So last time they were around me, I had just seen Superman again, because they came on, I think HBO Max, and like the soundtrack was in my head. I think all the sounds always stick in my head. Like I didn't remember every movie soundtrack that I really like, and the composers, the Michael Giacchinis, the John Williamses, Hans Zimmer, all of it. Like I love like just paying attention to those type of things. So I took my little nephew and I put Uncle Benny. I took him there. I was like, I'll show you how I did. I was like, come here, Isaac. And I just took him in my arms and I was flying him around our house. And this is what I didn't know. When he left, he was talking to my sister, his mom. It was like, what's that song? Mom, can you put me up in the air? What's that song? Sing that song. When they call me, they be like, Uncle Benny.
Oh, that is so cute. He said, run my damn theme music.
That's it.
Yeah, I personally take responsibility for putting these kids on because their mom, just like my mom, is raising them hella religious. And so I like to come in and be able to, it's fine to have your beliefs. That's cool. But here's a couple cool things as well. And you can read about them and watch them as well. And hopefully it doesn't interfere with your beliefs. One of which, of course, is my favorite superhero, Spider-Man, for those that can't see. And as we know, Spider-Man does have another show iteration coming out. Although it is not necessarily what you may think. I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here and see if we can show this trailer without being canceled. Do you think we can?
Yes.
I think we can.
Yes.
It's worth a try.
All
right. If we get canceled, I'm coming to you. I'm flying you somewhere if we get canceled.
Oh, no.
Good luck with that.
All right, let's check it out. See what you think about it. Oh, so they're giving you
options. The options.
I was like, that's exactly what I needed.
That is exactly what I needed, though. It is the truth. I don't like unless I'm watching something like with like actors that are already dead. Like if I'm watching
so you didn't rock with Sin City?
Not really. But that's the one with Bruce Willis, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. But I'm just not really that into black and white. I just at this point, like I said, if the actor, it's not a classic, if it's not a James Cagney movie or somebody that's already dead, like what I'm saying, if I'm watching something like that, then I feel like it makes sense to watch it in that way. But at this point, nah, man, I pay too much for my color TV for me to be watching shit in black and white.
Wait, so for like WandaVision and stuff, when they had those little parts.
Yeah. Ask about me.
Oh,
that's what we learned about this. That's what we learned about this.
Ask about me. Yeah.
He cussed us whole out for like 2 episodes for having to watch what he considered to be bullshit on his huge 80-something inch screen TV.
Yeah.
I did not spend all this money on this big ass nice TV to be watching Lucille Ball and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
but for me, like, my shit for this.
Yeah, I do.
That's like not even flashbacks.
Oh, okay. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Listen. I obviously after watching it, because when you watch something for the first time and you critique something for the first time, that's when you're present. You're present. But I went back and I watched the WandaVision series for what it was, and after the fact, and I did grow an appreciation for what they were doing. But I'm of the mind that why the fuck are we technologically savvy to the point where we are in this technological AI world, and we still can't let go. We just can't let go. We just can't let go. But look, I love the options.
So you don't see black and white as an art form. You see it as like regression, right? Like you don't see it.
I see it for what it is.
Do you remember the movie where David Tyree what's Denzel's son's name again? David I forget. Denzel's son.
Yes, where he did the movie where he did the movie with old girl
Zendaya.
It was Zendaya.
And it was all in their kitchen.
I'm gonna be honest. I hated that movie. I absolutely hated that movie. I did. It was.
That's how you really feel, Ty.
Yes, I really did. Listen, I'm not. You are a huge John David Washington fan. Anytime you get an opportunity to talk about John David Washington, you always are like, "Oh my God, John David Washington! They should look." You're always picking them up. You always pick them up. You said for a very long time that was your Black Panther. Oh, John David Washington should be Black Panther.
Okay,
listen. I'm just saying you have celebrated this dude from the very onset. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm just saying I do not put him up there with his dad just because he sounds like his father. He's got
that's a lot of shoes to fill. I think he's doing his thing for where he is in his career. Like I loved, what was that movie? Tenet?
Yeah, Tenet.
You love Tenet? You love Tenet? Listen, for those who understood Tenet, which it did take at least probably 2 to 3 times of watching it to understand it. Tenet was a box office because of the cast. Leonardo DiCaprio, him, you know what I'm saying? Well, that's why I said him. You know what I'm saying? But this is like, for me, he's not like, I did not like any of that Zendaya movie. That was so boring. It took forever it was just not. And I get why people stand behind me, and I'm not bashing him. I don't want to make it seem like I'm bashing him. I think he deserves his credit for his projects. But I'm not of the mind that just because you put John David Washington in a movie in black and white, then I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, it's so great. No. And to your point, really quick, Vince, because you made a comment. You said, so I don't look at it as an art.
I was asking.
Okay. Well, I don't I don't think it was ever an art. I think it was based on the time period. There were no color. There was no color when black and white first came out. It wasn't no color. So that was the birth of television, was black and white. Over the years, television progressed, kept progressing. So to look at it as an art form when it wasn't necessarily an art form, it was what was available, is different than what you're talking about, which is somebody saying, okay, I want a retro, I want to go back retro, I'm gonna go black and white, do this in black and white. So it has the feels of a classic. And I think that's the difference in how I view things and how you view things. You see it, you're like, oh, they did the classic, they went the classic route. The classic route was the initial route. So is it really classic? Is what I'm saying. Like if there were other options, then it would be considered classic, but it was just the only option. So that's not necessarily meaning it's a classic. The movie could be a classic because of the performances that were done in the movie and how it made you feel. That's what I feel makes a classic, but not necessarily it being in black and white. So yeah, I am of the mind that I did not pay thousands of dollars for a TV to play with the best clarity possible for you to give me a classic, mind you, that you're putting.
Well, first of all, shop on Black Friday, okay? Because nobody should be paying thousands of dollars for a TV in this age. Like they're not even that expensive.
Well, I mean, I haven't bought a TV. I haven't bought a TV now. I'm talking about when I bought the TV.
Like,
I
that's
mean,
why I haven't had to replace my TV,
WandaVision.
because I dropped
Yeah,
the bag on it.
yeah, let's not act like WandaVision wasn't like what? How long ago was that? Like,
it was about but yeah, I'm not. This isn't a diss or a shot at you. It's kind of just recognizing your preferences, right? You prefer to watch things in high def color, probably 2160 bits, and that's cool. I don't mind a well done art piece, all right, and even as much as we may have cringed through the relationship of John David and Zendaya, I thought it was interesting use of the black and white tool because it's essentially a filter. It's essentially a filter, is what it is, and it's not just. It's not, and it's not just relegated to only flashbacks and things. Even back when they had color, and I know you're going to argue against this point, but The Wizard of Oz. The very first 30 minutes of that movie did not have to be in black and white. The whole entire thing, they used black and white as a tool to paint the picture that they were trying to paint. That this is the world, it's black and white, and now guess what? Color. Also, Werewolf by Night. I thought Werewolf by Night was a pretty good production. They did have a color version of it, but the black and white was meant to depict it in an element that shows that it's kind of, little more of a throwback to the monsters. And so in those instances, I think that it's helpful. But I'm like you, bro. I prefer to watch things in color. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not necessarily when we're sitting there talking about Spider-Man Noir and they have options, I'm gonna be watching that bitch in color.
Did you see how clear it? Did you see how clear it got once they went into color at the end? I was like, so now,
make no mistake. I can respect the artist's vision of trying to paint us into a certain time period or trying to get a point across by having the film in black and white. I can get it and I can vibe with it, but I will be watching this bitch in color. That's not a thing. And Bree, don't sit there and act like the comic books were in black and white. You feel just as.
So here, listen. All right, you listen. You said it. I wasn't gonna say it, but since we're gonna kick that off, we might as well just jump in the grits now. But I am a firm believer that it's a style choice and it can be used as an effective tool. Because I did mention Sin City, but I'm also one of those people who loved 300 Down. And y'all know I'm a comic book girly. They have certain runs where it'll be like black, white, and blood. Obviously, there's color options, but I love a black and white comic that just has certain color or tonal splashes of color because it introduces a difference in mood, a difference in perspective. To your point, sometimes it's used to show flashbacks or time differences. I think there's a lot of really cool and creative ways that people can utilize black and white in all mediums. In terms of this Spider Noir situation specifically, I'm 100% going to watch it in black and white first and then watch it in color to compare, just because my brain is going to want to do that. But I feel like it's an excellent tool for like different things. Like I'll send you some recs of some comics where it's like dope that they do these in color, but some of them, those black, white, and blood events or the black, white, and gold events, they eat down. And that to me, I'm like, you know that you got the chops in your storytelling skills if you decide to eliminate an entire element and your story is still well done. So that's why I think of it as a tool or a style choice instead of a regression, like what you mentioned.
Let me jump on that real quick. If you read The Last Ronin, right, where they kind of flash back to what's going on in real time, like it's some of those scenes, some of those pictures are in black and white, and I'm a sucker for I don't know what they call this, but when you like make everything black and white but the blood is red, or like you make everything black and white but the headband's still yellow, like I'm a sucker for that type of shit. Like I think that's fascinating, and so scenes like that I can kind of dig. And so I think they did that in Sin City actually. Like I said, some of the blood was still red, and some of that stuff was like that. So I can definitely vouch for that. I can look forward to that. We can. But again, now for you to admit to, did you hear what Bree just? She said she gonna watch Spider-Man Noir. Okay, what? Put the book down, pick the controller up.
It is a comic book. It's a comic book show. She is the comic.
It is a comic book show. I also just really love like noir anything anyway, like those old school detective vibes. I'm gonna eat that up every time. So.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I have my apprehensions, but we'll have to see. When it comes to Spider-Man, like I don't play that. You know what I'm saying? So I got to make sure it's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing, and I want to make sure it's cool. I'm also big on Trek, which we talked on. I don't think you're as much into Trek, Bree, which is cool. But at bare minimum, at least we're gonna make you familiar.
I've been learning a lot catching y'all's afternoon shows because I haven't been watching it, but I'm not. Yeah, I've been popping in. Y'all see, if you see Pink Riot in the middle of the day, that's me.
I figured that's what I said too. I was like, that's probably Bree because she normally runs, takes the wheel on the socials. But we definitely love Keisha and tell her we said hello and we miss talking to her, and maybe one of these days we can set something up. But as a reader, Bree, I'm sure you can also respect the plight of the writers, right? And this Thursday, since you did tune in, you had a chance to see us review some of the content from the writer, one of the writers of the Star Trek show that is out right now, which is called Starfleet Academy. That is currently airing on Thursdays. And Tawny Newsome is actually the one who wrote, like I said, episode 5. But most folks will probably remember her from Lower Decks. Hold on, this is going to be a little weird if I switch this. Yeah, most folks will probably remember her from a show called Lower Decks, where she played Mariner Beckett. All right, and
the way that I did not put that together. My bad.
Yeah,
I didn't know that's what that was. Okay, cool.
Voiced her, this is her with the cast of that. Even Dawn Lewis, who we may or may not be speaking to. I don't want to confirm that yet, but maybe happening. And as well as what's old boy name? That's Jack
Quaid.
Jack Quaid, him and some other folks was pretty cool in this cast. She also big time with Sonequa Martin, as she did play the first Black woman captain of a starship. I botched that question, by the way. I thought I had some flowers for her. I was like, yo, how does it feel to be the first Black woman lead of a show? She's like, I wasn't the first. Sonequa was first. I was like, oh, I mean, you know what I mean. Like, well, how does it feel? It went raw. There was a whole lot of crazy off-script moments that happened, and one of them is what I'm gonna show you here, where we asked Tawny where it is that her Trek came from, and here's what she had to tell us, guys, and let me know what you feel about on this.
Trek is hereditary, Tawny. Do you owe all?
I didn't know you had a picture.
Oh yeah, we come prepared, Mama. They say that Trek is hereditary, Tawny. Do you owe all?
I didn't know you had a picture.
Oh yeah, we come prepared, Mama. Do you owe all of your Star Trek? I guess let's say the love you have for it and your introduction to it, does it rest within your parental loins, or was that a journey that you took on your own?
Yeah, no, it was both of them. It's my dad and my mom, who thankfully is still here. They're both huge Trekkies, so they raised me in it. I had no choice. My mom still calls me with like canon corrections sometimes, and I'm like, I didn't write Strange New World season 3. I don't know what to tell you, lady. But yeah, they raised me in that. And my dad especially loved Discovery. He liked Lower Decks and he likes me, but he loves Cindy Glenn book. You know, my dad was always quick to tell me who his favorite person or character was in any show I did, and it was never me. It's good. You gotta stay grounded.
So let me tell you a little something about this real quick while I back this up. I'm not gonna lie, man. I felt terrible after I asked the question. Like, I really did. I felt like an idiot. I was like, why did I didn't mean to, I don't know, man. I didn't mean to make her cry. You know what I mean? And then she gave us a moment where, you could kind of tell, but I was so determined to get my question out that I probably could have stopped and been like, yo, is this all right? I don't know, man. I mess up with things like that. I get a little too human, or maybe I overthink. But when I saw the emotional, fortunately she laughed a little bit and she kind of made us feel like, okay, yeah, I wasn't expecting to see the picture, but at least, yeah, let's kind of talk light about it. But I don't know. It was a weird moment for me. I wasn't raised. I didn't go to media school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have like all this savvy. We're learning this stuff as we're building this plane. And at that time, I was just kind of like, after I watched it again, when I rewatched it, I was like, damn, that was insensitive. I was like, damn, I could have, I don't know, done that a little better. I felt a little. But Ty, I don't know. You say that we probably could have just asked about it toward the end.
Yeah, I think we could have circled back just to kind of give her a moment to express her emotion. I think in that moment she wasn't prepared. It caught her a little off guard just because it wasn't the question per se. It was the picture of her father, seeing her father after she had experienced the loss of her father. And I think that once she had gotten past that, and mind you, we went through a whole interview of just a lot of great conversation and a lot of laughing, a lot of joking, and so I think there was a potential moment to circle back and give her that opportunity. You know me, I'm always, when it comes to interviews, I think whenever you have those vulnerable moments from an interviewee, it makes them more human to the audience. So a lot of audience look at these actors as like upper echelon figures and stuff like that, and a lot of times when you do that, you involuntarily dehumanize them. And I think when you see those moments of emotion, raw emotion, real life experiences, it helps you connect more to that person. So I think there was definitely a space at some point to circle back, but whether we did or not is okay. I felt very good about the interview. I hope that Tawny left the interview feeling very good about the interview, despite that moment. But yeah, I wouldn't have changed. I honestly wouldn't have changed anything, bro.
Okay, all right. I'm glad to hear it because I sure felt like a whole idiot. I was like, damn, man, I just completely just talked all the way through her emotional outbursts, so to speak, and I feel like I could have had like an Iyanla fix my life moment right there, like, oh, talk to us a little, tell me about, and I stepped over it. But talking about parents and dealing with parents can sometimes be tricky. I know it was when one of my parents was inadvertently involved with this whole scenario. I've shared this on Thursday, but this is how it all got started. I didn't even have my mic hooked up yet, and I get a message from Pops saying, hey, I'm going to stop by and pick up some stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be busy. He was like, it don't matter. I'm going to pull up anyway. And this is what happened.
But my Pops very,
all good.
my crib. He literally today, I remember telling the truth. He hit me up. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna stop by and pick up what you call." And in my head, I was like, "Yes, but I got something going on today. Like, and I get panic attacks. I get panic attacks. Really, I have really bad anxiety. So on the way, he's like, I'm on the way. I'm like, all right, I'm on the way. Okay, I gotta make sure everybody get the link. And then he shows up. He's like, yo, let him cook. Let him watch you. And now I'm like, oh my God. And then Tony pops up. I'm like, oh my God, Tony's right there. And I'm like, oh my God.
This is a lot. This is a lot to just show up. You text on the way. You don't even text like a couple hours before.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. All I can say is I thank you, Ty, for the compliment.
No, I thank you, Mr. Taylor.
You watching Starfleet Academy, right? Okay,
Yeah.
This is the young lady who.
Oh, that's my girl. I just saw you last week. I saw you. Yeah, that's Tony.
This is that moment, man.
What she look like? How come we got to have stuff on our face?
Yeah.
Well, she's a beautiful young lady, very talented.
Thank you.
Oh, look at here. All right, and we're gonna start a petition to get them to take that stuff off of you. You don't need to have that stuff on your Look, they take that stuff off.
Oh my God.
I think you have to use all that actually.
Please.
So
Yeah.
just so you know, yeah. So yeah, that it kind of went off the rails a little bit.
Pop said, show up that beauty.
Okay?
Show up that beauty, girl.
That whole thing is gold. I love that. That worked out so great. But on the flip side of that, like what Ty was saying about having the moment, as somebody who's recently dealt with the loss of a family member, that grief can like hit you unexpectedly. So I think it was kind of smart to like acknowledge it, but also keep moving, because you see how like just seeing the picture made her emotional. I feel like if you had like dug deeper into it, that might have been a lot to deal with in real time. Like she was able to recover because you kept it moving. So I don't know. I think you guys handled it well.
Thank you. I overthink about these things, and I didn't honestly. Sometimes I'm so ingratiated in the goal and my mission, I don't even stop. I don't know what's happening at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even. Yeah. I remember seeing her like kind of crack a little bit, but I just remember being like, question, get that out the way. So whatever, it happened, and ultimately she did end up having a very good time. I would encourage anybody who is a fan of Star Trek, if you are a fan of Lower Decks, make sure you do yourself a favor. Go check out our video where we actually did have a live, well, I won't say live, but we had a full interview with Tawny Newsome. She spilled the deeds, told us, if you watched the last episode of Starfleet Academy and the one before that, you know that it was about Sisko. Whoa, hey. It was about Captain Sisko. And if you if you want to know why Captain Sisko did,
my mouth is on fire.
You right? You need to extinguish this.
Man, look, man, I'm already cooking, man. It's got
you definitely
searing stuff right now, man.
The man is on fire. So yeah, if you're a fan, man, please do yourself a favor. Do us a favor. I'm just gonna say it outright. Just go ahead, go over there, give it a look, give it a like, give it a comment, so you can help us fend off some of the trolls. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, our Star Trek content has been getting some headway, but some of it's because I believe that there are people that have been sent to trash and troll Star Trek wherever they can find it. And they, like, literally, if you just go to YouTube and just Google or YouTube Star Trek and anything new, they're just like, what is this trash? And there's people that are making a lot of money off of just trashing it, which I think has become a new industry. I don't want to get into it, but that is a whole thing. Ty is right now watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Bree, I know you're not a big watcher, but I ain't gonna lie, I would be interested in hearing what she thought about some of the Star Trek stuff.
Oh, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, watching you guys is like midday things. I'm like, I might need to actually like carve out some time to watch this, because this seems pretty cool. Like, I haven't watched Star Trek like that for real since I was little. Like, one of my favorite people in the world, my auntie, she was a Trekkie. So like I would watch them sometimes when I would be at her house, but like in terms of like full continuity, I'm like, sure, like I only know some things. But you guys' shows have been super engaging, and I'm just like, okay, it's giving new perspective, it's giving a different experience. Now like my brain is like, okay, I have to check out some of the OG shows and then also watch the new shows. It's just a matter of making time for it. So I'm gonna for sure pull up and make sure I drop some comments to combat some of the haters. And if y'all do watch it for the first time because you heard about it here or seen an interview that they did, make sure you say that in the comments, because combating these trolls is like a real thing, and it's not enough people doing it for real. And sometimes, you know, all that bad stuff will swirl around and kind of overpower the positive comments. So like drop a positive comment. They're very much appreciated.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but it sounds like you're experiencing some trollism as well. And then Todd, jump in.
Not like directly me, but like I've, as a Black woman, like in the like nerd space, we deal with like trolling and like inappropriate comments and stuff like that all the time. So like literally any of those positive comments mean the world, because like the difference of me being a nerd in like a huge fandom, like I can't claim Star Trek, but like me saying anything about Star Wars, anything, I'm gonna get some troll who thinks that I don't deserve to have an opinion about it, or they want to like quiz you or something like that, like really gross and weird. Like literally just had a conversation. We talked a little bit about that on our last episode of Pink Riot with one of the guests, because they mentioned what their experience was like going into a comic shop as a femme presenting person and not being treated with respect or welcomed or as a true fan. It's always like a let me quiz you and make you feel like you don't belong to be here because I don't think you belong to be here. So that's why I'm always gonna like show up and say something positive, even if I don't know much about it, just because I know if you guys are doing Star Trek, anything as Black people, you probably do have some gross people who are a part of the fandom like saying negative stuff, especially about these new versions and the new shows. So yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to block some people on YouTube because I feel like they wait for our video just to come and show comments that say this isn't real Trek. And I at one point I was like, oh, well, I'm only gonna delete racist and sexist comments. But at this point, I'm like, nah, I might have to start deleting even just troll comments because it's just gotten ridiculous. But and if you watch the interview, you'll heard that Tawny says that this is traditional. It comes with the brand, like Star Trek, Star Wars. Most of these projects right now, when they release anything new, the nostalgia in people's heads automatically go to, if it ain't what I saw, then it's trash. And that is what it is. But we'll move on to something else. Right after Ty had a comment, what was it?
Yeah, my comment is just about what we're talking about right now with the trolls. You know, my stance has always been, when it comes to trolls, they come to spaces where they can be engaged. And when you find them not being engaged, they move on to spaces where they can be engaged. Yeah. I find that a lot of times we fall into the trap that they set by the trolling. Yeah. And then once we fall into that trap, then all of the other trollers who see that, hey, this is a space where people are going to entertain this inappropriate shit, then they pull up too and join into the conversation. The biggest way and the easiest way to deal with people who don't matter is to continue to show them that they don't matter. You gotta, Vince. I'm glad and I applaud you for finally just deleting those people. Don't engage with them. You're trying to have a structured conversation or a structured debate with someone who has no structure. That is absurd to me. So when it comes down to it, I know it feels in that moment, you feel like you got your shit off when they said something stupid and you're just like, you stupid. So I'm gonna say you stupid. But at the end of the day, that's what they're saying the stupid shit for. Like, you gotta understand, these people have no lives. They probably don't have no friends, probably don't have no real people feeding into their souls, which is why they're so they're so butthurt all the time. And once you realize that, and you understand that this is why they're trolling, if you don't acknowledge it, and you see me, I told you, whenever we get trolls that come in our comment section, I don't put that shit on the screen for everybody to see it. I delete your ass and I block you. And you don't, and nobody has to know anything about what you said because I won't bring attention to it. And that's what it is. You want attention. You are so thirsty for attention because no one pays you any, that this is what you do. You have literally been pushed to the point of, I'm just gonna hate until somebody says something. Like, listen, man. Like, find someplace else to do that. And over here, we about celebrate. We're about bigging up. So when I see a comment or you see a comment that somebody says something profound or says something that is like, like, oh, I didn't even think of it like that. That's the type of conversation I want to have with you. I want to have that conversation. Thank you, brother, for enlightening me. Thank you, sister, for enlightening me on something that I wasn't privy to. Thank you for bigging us up. Thank you for supporting us. Those are the people we want to feed into. We never want to feed into trolls. Never want to give them power. Keep on ignoring them and blocking them and deleting them and don't give them no space to exist. And guess what? Then they just gonna argue amongst themselves. That's what trolls want to do. Argue amongst themselves. So just take that into account.
That's true. It's the same rules as the zoo. You don't feed the animals. That's why I'm saying, like, we drop positive comments, not in response to them, just so that the positive comments outnumber the stupid ones. Yeah. Definitely don't go back and forth with somebody who probably hasn't picked up a book in I don't know how long and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
Yeah, no point in even glorifying them, man. So I appreciate the sentiments here. I will say trolls, we don't typically acknowledge them in the first place. But these folks, they're like, I don't know, they're coming out the way. I only brought them up because it just seems to be calculated. You know what I'm saying? And it's, I don't know. But Troll is also a movie that's out on Netflix right now, and I happen to like that movie. I don't know if y'all watch Troll, but that movie is kind of cool. It's real cheesy. You know what I'm saying? It's about a giant. It's like a King Kong for Norway. You know what I'm saying? Part 2 just came out. This movie called Troll.
It did not just come out. That's Troll 2 has been out. You just late to the ball.
It's a guilty pleasure for me, bro. I love that fucking movie. It's so bad, it's so good. Like, I don't know.
It was bad.
It's one of those bad good movies. It's like the CGI is good, but the storyline is like so unbelievable. But what is believable is the storyline on Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which right now we're, I think, 3 or 4 episodes deep. And I think we're all up to date on this as of right now. I can honestly say that this show has come a long way from when it first aired, and all I could think of was him behind the tree.
Dropping a deuce?
Is that what that was? That was a lot more than
that was a like projected. That looked like projected. That was a projectile. That wasn't no drop.
Yeah, it was a little much. You know what I'm saying? And then to cap it off, the next episode starts with the full frontal, full bush, full prosthetic. You know,
the comments about that episode, and people are really, I'm like, y'all are really checking for this crunchy old man. Like, why do you need to know if it was a prosthetic or not?
I didn't sit and examine it, but I don't think I had.
They did. Those comments, they did.
I don't know if y'all are familiar with the concept or what we talk about, but go and watch episode 2, HBO Max, Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. I am not going to do the spoiler for you here. You going to see it for yourself and report back to base at 0800. We'll have a book report. But I will say this most recent episode, it got real. And frankly, if I could be honest, I've been saying this from the jump, I believe. Wasn't I saying like Game of Thrones seasons, always start slow. Like they always start slow. There's no exception to this rule. They will never feed you an action-packed first 2 or 3 series episodes. You just have to wonder, like,
I don't know about that. House of Dragons started off with Damon killing a whole thing. So I don't know if that's necessarily true. You don't remember Damon went through the city killing like in like I think the first or the second episode
in season 2?
In season 1. Remember Damon was the problem child. What was who was the king on the king was his name was Jaceres, right?
See, you're doing that thing.
I thought it was something like that. Anyway, first season, episode 1 and 2. Damon went through the city killing. He cut off a dude's penis in the first episode. Yeah, that's what he did. He cut the dude's penis off.
I do not remember that.
Yeah, wow.
In the very first episode, Damon chopped my man's penis off in the town square. In the town square, bro. Like, wow. Yo,
I must have tucked it deep in the bowels of my mind. It must have been so traumatic.
But yes, he definitely cut it. Yeah, he was at war. They were at war with the I wish I could. If somebody in the comments knows what I'm talking about, the first 2 episodes of House of the Dragon, they were at war with the people that were living in the marsh or whatever that the sand people, the sand people or something like that, I think. And but in town, in the city, there was like something going on where people were just running rampant and doing something like that. And I think a guy raped. He got raped. I think a guy raped somebody or did something like that.
I remember. Yeah. This wasn't. They weren't. Okay. Yeah. This wasn't at like Knight's Landing or nothing. It was. Okay. I think I remember what you're talking about now. I vaguely remember, but I still feel like I got to go back and rewatch it. But maybe
in the Red Clothes. Yeah. He was part of. Yeah. He was part of the Red Clothes. Yeah.
But definitely in this one, we didn't see the only body parts that got cut or they got hurt was old girl's finger. And I gotta say, spoiler alerts coming because we're gonna go ahead and spill it. And you should be watching this. Oh shoot, I might be behind. When does this show even air?
Sundays.
Oh, okay. So we got time.
They always on Sundays.
So I woke up. Let me tell you the moment I woke up. I woke up when the son, I guess the other Lannister, not Lannister, but what are the blonde
Targaryen.
When the young girl who does the plays, the little the mixed the black girl, we'll call it a black girl for now, who I believe we may be talking to as well, but who knows, after the day out of the day we may have to talk to nobody anyway. But so I'm hoping
calling her the black girl. Yeah, I mean like goodness.
I mean she's
all right, we'll get her name. We'll get her name.
We want to talk to black people. All right, her name is Tamsin Crawford. I know her real name. I don't know her name in the show. Is what I meant. So my apologies. Don't let that get out there. But when she stuck the little thing in the dragon puppet, and old boy went to work, that was when I peeked up. All right, that's what I was like. Oh, and then you get to learn
that long.
It did.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it did because up until that moment, it wasn't really clear as to antagonist, protagonist. Where were we going? We know he wants to be a knight. We know he wants to he wants to defend the honor of his mentor. We know that he has a new squire or whatever you want to call him. But I didn't know who the big bad was. Old boy kind of presented himself like one, but I never really knew. And it was in that moment that I think we got our big bad. And the big bad turns out to be a Targaryen.
So I feel like the pacing was done that way intentionally because no shade, but Dunk isn't the brightest bulb in the lamp. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a big lug, friendly giant personality, that type of thing. So I think that it was very intentional for them to like give us that slow introduction so you see what his life was all about and what his world revolved around and the type of person that you're dealing with before he gets thrust into this new environment. Because if you peep, like when he did finally, that whole first episode was literally just slow go, giving you what his life is like, what was important to him. So we learned like, okay, he's kind of slow. He had the utmost respect for his master. Honor is very important to him, and he really didn't have a care with one way or the other where his life was going. But now he kind of is put in a choice where he has to say, all right, if I think he even said at one point, like, oh, I could sell the horses and eat like a king for a couple, then what would I do? You know what I'm saying? So it was slow on purpose to show us how simple and pure and removed his life was. So he didn't have to be sharp or aware or any of those things, because he was pretty much, relegated to whatever the space his master had him in. And that's why he held his master in such high regard. I think that's why they showed the master in the light that they did, because he wasn't like really all that. Dunk just thinks he was, because that's who he had to look up to, and that's who was taking care of him. So then you see him coming into this other environment for the tournament and whatever, and literally everyone he encounters is telling him he's dumb, or telling him he ain't shit because he's a hedge knight, or making it clear to him that he's out of his depth in that space. And I think that transition made it clear, like, okay, we're supposed to be rooting for him because he doesn't have any inclination towards all of the, politics and whatever, or all of that. He's literally just like, this is my life now because my master died.
Word. Wow. Well said. And not only that, what I really like about this is it finally gives us a depiction of a non-royal blood lineage kind of getting his own just due based on merit only, not based on, because you could literally, you could literally sit here and say, oh, well, he had such and such mentor, so that's why. But no, the mentor was shit. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, you said shining him a certain light. I wish they hadn't put so much light on him in the very beginning of the episode. You know what I'm saying? But the light, but the light you speak of is correct. Yeah, go ahead and let him in. Go ahead and let the electrician dude in. I set an appointment for 12 o'clock. The electric guy come and look at my outlets because I lost my power and I still have yet to do it. So maybe we should start wrapping this up. My bad. Yeah, could you just clean that? Just pick it up. I got it. You ain't got to do nothing. All right. Happy Valentine's Day. The garage door don't work now. Everything in here is broke. Yeah.
Somebody said yes, Dunk coming from Flea Bottoms, and Knight takes him as a squire, even though he was a hedge knight. He was a hero to Dunk, even though he was a lowly knight. Yeah, 100%. That's what I was getting at. Like, everything there in Dunk's life and what was represented was super slow, super chill. He held his master in the highest of regards, even though he really wasn't all of that. And then that gets super revealed when he gets to the tournament and he's like trying to get somebody to vouch for him. And he's like, yeah, of course they'll remember my master because he had all these great deeds. And they're all like, we don't remember him. We've like encountered hundreds of other knights who have done more for us. So no, we don't remember him. You might have thought he was great, but he really wasn't all of that. So he ends up having to like try to find a whole nother avenue to even get there. So yeah, I think that like that was done in a great way to show how naive he was going into that scenario. And then now to your point about the moment of what happens to the puppetress, I don't know if that's the right word to say, but things take up pace. The pace kicks up substantially right after that, because now it's like, okay, your actions have like consequences. Like, you may be feeling like, oh, as a knight, I have to be honorable and do the right thing, but you can't just go attacking a Targaryen all willy-nilly and think that nothing's gonna happen to you. So like, the pace picked up real quick because he had to fuck around and find out.
Yeah, and I love that. I mean, because one of the things about Game of Thrones that we did, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap up we're coming up. I got a band here that's ready to pay. One thing about Game of Thrones is they didn't normally like establish, with the exception I'd say probably of Jon Snow, like a true bona fide hero. Like everybody had flaws. Everybody had something wrong with him, whether or not they were, they might have been the right one to capture the throne, but they were incestuous, or what I'm saying, all kind of crazy stuff. With this, we see that this is literally from the blood. Like it's like the royal lineage is problem, with the exception of the fact that that we all right, my mind just I lost my train of thought. With the exception of the fact that we are learning about this gentleman from his very, very, very first trek into knighthood.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Y'all got time? Hey, well, guess what? Guess what just happened? We actually have a special guest. Pulling on in for the final lap right here, and I may have to lean on y'all a little bit. Here is a gentleman that we have grown to admire, as he has been in multiple shows and multiple productions that we love. All right, some of which include things like Wonder Man, Hallelujah, which we saw him. But what we really loved is seeing him get ate up on Jurassic Park. I'm just playing, homeboy. And we'd love to big him up for his bringing an authentic Haitian voice to some extremely pivotal roles. Even though the time isn't necessarily where we thought it was, he is showing up right when he needs to be. So if y'all would help me welcome to our platform for the first time and maybe not the last, the one and only Bechir Sylvain. What's going on, homeboy?
What they do. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. Thank you very much. I'm in LA, and there's something called alarms, and you forget about them sometimes. And when you don't set the alarms in LA time, you're like, oh, I'm good. I haven't heard the beep beep beep, so I'm good.
Sorry,
until you hear a vibration and you're like, wait a minute, what's this? Anyway, I profusely apologize. This is not a norm for me, so I first my apologies for my lateness, but I'm definitely happy to be here. I needed to be here. I mean, I did whatever I had to do, just come in to be present and be here for you guys, because I was excited to talk to you guys.
I appreciate that, man, and no pressure, man. We get it. If we had known you was on West Coast time, man, we could have probably arranged something a little more. Give you that snooze time.
Oh, no, I mean, it's usually not a problem. I'm telling you, it's just I forgot to hear the beep beep beep.
I feel you. I'm in the Bay Area. It's early. Okay.
Yeah.
That coffee. My alarm was on point.
Yeah, man. You missed that one. It's a wrap.
Oh yeah. Then you're just dancing to the beat in your dream, like.
Exactly.
Well, check it out, man. Bechir, my name is Vince. This is my boy Ty. That's our homegirl Bree. We are so happy to have you here with us. We call ourselves the New Blurred Order. Bree is also a part of a group called Pink Riot, and we're really big on, especially a lot of the stuff that you help create. Let's start off, however, with the most recent project that's hit the small screen, big screen, but on a big way, which of course is your role in Marvel's Wonder Man, right? So I'm curious myself personally, just to go ahead and kick things off right quick, bro, with what they told you about the role. Like when you had to audition, did they say, look, we want Haitian man, we want this zuka, you know what I'm saying? Like, did they tell you they wanted the authenticity? They wanted everything. They wanted you to come to and talk the right way and all of those things? Or was it just like hey, here's your canvas, paint it, just do it right?
I mean, they didn't tell me a lot. They were so secretive, man. There's a lot of stuff like they didn't tell us. I didn't know it was a superhero show, period. All I know, they said it's Caribbean, right? From what I understood. And then I was just like, all right, well, Caribbean, I'm gonna make them Haitian, period. And then they were like, yeah, then they have some Creole words in there. And I was just like, oh, okay, that's not an issue. And so I did it, and then I remember being on set, not really knowing what this is about. It was just the scene. The scene that they auditioned me with was the scene at the theater when I'm talking about him being bullying. And then and then the next scene was the part where we're eating and everything like that. And I tell them that quote that everybody's quoting now. It's like my Ben moment for Spider-Man, you know, with great responsibility, with great power, you know, that moment. So it was cool, but I still didn't know what it was, and I was super excited because, you know, anytime I get a chance to speak Creole, anytime I get a chance to really show my culture, I always take advantage of it. What was cool about it was when I read it, you know, and I saw how light and fun he was, it reminded me of my dad. So I was like, "Who? I'm gonna use my dad for this one." He's such a fun dude. I used to call him the Haitian Cliff Huxtable. So that dude was, I mean, he had the same dance and everything. I mean, you name it, you know, but he was just Haitian. So I was like, I'm picking that dude to make Sanford. And then later on, I remember the second time they invited me on set, that's when I found out that it was a superhero movie. And they're like, "Hey, you're playing the dad." Because I was like, "Okay, this was nice, this was cool, whatever." And they're like, "No, I don't think you understand. You're playing his dad." And I was like, "Wait a minute. If I'm playing his dad and I'm Asian, that means he's Asian too."
Whoa! You thought you was making him Haitian. Yo,
you know what I'm saying? And from what I heard, the creators wanted him to be a first generation something. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know exactly what, and then they landed with Haiti, which, you know, I think was great timing, great, you know, because we need it. We need the support. We need the hope. We need to show people a different side of us besides the same thing that we constantly keep hearing over and over and over again. And I'm glad that, you know, more films, more movies are allowing us to bring, you know, authenticity to it too, you know, by hiring us, you know. Then you have to say nothing to me. They had a consultant, Jean-Élie, who actually helped with the whole show to make sure that, you know, the Haitian culture was being shown. I didn't get no notes, that's for sure.
Let me ask you this: as an aficionado, and as I wish one of my homeboys bad tie, I think he's got to head out. So happy Valentine's, man! You enjoy the rest of your evening. But yeah, for you being an authentic Haitian man, like, are you watching some of the scenes and looking at it like, yeah, Haitians, this is right. You know what I'm saying? This is how we would do it. Specifically for the cookout scene. They wanted to show, in my opinion, the elaborate cultural element of a Haitian family. Coming from an actual Haitian family, are you able to kind of look and determine, hey, you know what, we need to put this over here? No, the rice needs to be black. And yeah, we gotta you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think literally I'm gonna get hated for this. But I feel like Haitians are the most critical people when it comes to our culture. It's not even, you know, like they'll be like, you said this wrong. Oh my gosh. My first thing was, where's the food? I wanted to see the food. I was like, where's the sauce, man? Like, I don't see nobody doing this. I'm like, like I heard maybe one I'm like, what's that? I heard one and I was like, okay, cool. That's good. But it was a lot of dope stuff that they did, like putting the drum. There was a thing about where you basically bring every, you know, not every party, but usually when there's a big gathering, they have this big boom where you put stuff in there to send to Haiti. That was very kind of cool. Like, it was a lot of cool stuff. I mean, even the background music and the background conversation. And my favorite moments when he was talking to his cousins, and the cousin was like, "Oh, okay, cool." They started speaking Creole. He's like, "You don't understand, right?" And showing the dynamics, because it's so complicated. Because we have, you know, Haitians that speak Creole. There are Haitians that only understand it. There's Haitians that only speak French. They understand Creole, but they don't speak it. You know what I'm saying? There's so many layers to it. And they did a great job making sure that that they put those layers enough where if people have any complaints, they got a little bit of, you know, everything. They got a little bit of somebody speaking full Creole. They have a little bit of the American Haitian and Haitian, and you name it. You know what I'm saying? And what was so beautiful about it too, like the freedom they gave me. For example, I was telling them, I was like, I'm not calling them Simon. Like it's Simon. It's not even it's a better. And they were like, I don't know, man. I think, can you do it both ways? And I was like, nah, like I think it's Simon. I'm like, I'll do it, but I'm just letting you know, in the Haitian culture, we wouldn't call them that, especially me being first generation. I mean, being an immigrant. You know, it's harder. It's harder when you're older, especially if you've been calling him Simon your whole life. I could see his mother and his brother calling him Simon out of respect for him, especially for his career. He probably had one time probably was like, my name is Simon, guys, not Simon, whatever it is. Right? but I wanted the authority as a father. And it's so subtle. Most people won't get it, but people that know.
Yeah.
There's a way your dad calls you that nobody else will call you. And I think with there's a certain way your family will call you a certain way that no one else has the, balls to even trying to call you that. But if your mom or dad calls you that, you're like, oh, I gotta pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted that. I wanted just like, nah, Simon. So, if there's anything later on in life, he knows that voice. So, the universe is so crazy. So if he has a moment where he's fighting some enemy and he needs to hear a little bit of hope, all he needs to hear is Simon, and you'll be like, oh shoot, damn.
I love that. That goes to, and Bree, let me know if you want to jump in here. That goes to exactly what I was hoping. And honestly, for some reason, when I saw you on the screen and knew of your Haitian background, because it wasn't the first time I had seen you speak French. Hallelujah. So we'll get into that in a second. You know what I'm saying? But I was so, I don't know. It felt like I was like, okay, they're in good hands. Because sometimes when you get a depiction of a culture of which there's nobody of that culture involved, then you end up with misauthentic and some things that some people take away that aren't actually true. And it shows that you already corrected them because you're not he's Simon. So
yeah, and the subtle things like that won't share, like just adding little things that I just appreciated Destin's trust in me, and so far, like a lot of directors, when I get a chance to represent my culture, they give me so much love and so much respect, and they're like, hey, you know better than I do, so you do you, and I'm like, good, because I'm gonna make it look good, and so far. From the 3 things I've done, it's really shown, and they see it now. They go, oh, okay, we need to listen to this man a little bit more.
Nice. Bree, did you have a question or anything?
Oh, no, I was just going to say I agree about, that intonation when it comes to like your father saying something, put a little bit of that ancestor energy behind it, like so that they're not playing. And that it's a callback to who you are as a person. And I think you hit the nail on the head with that, honestly.
Thank you, Bree. Appreciate that.
I have a question. So just to kind of tap off a little bit about Wonder Man, because obviously Wonder Man's a little hot, fresh. It's still, it just came out not too long ago. But you, first of all, needless to say, you destroyed, you killed that role. I mean, there was literally no question as to whether because they could have hired a British man, no shade, out, but they could have did that thing where they try to, bring somebody from London over there, and then they come and just, hey, yo, all this, like, yeah,
I'm coming after them too. Don't worry.
But yeah, for you to bring
that.
Yes.
He's got that accent too. So I'm curious, like, it was you as the father, but there was also the mother, all right, that had that was playing Haitian or whatnot. So I'm curious about like the interactivity within the cast and whatnot. Like, what was it like working with the Haitian family in the background? Tell me some of the tidbits, some of the juicy off-screen moments that you guys had a chance, some of which may have been uncomfortable, some of which may have just been hilarious.
Which was crazy is that they shot this so secretive. Like, we only shot our scenes, and then we did all the pictures and stuff like that. Working with Little Simon was awesome. Like, that dude man, I mean, he was so perfectly cast for this because, you know, he was shy, but then we had to create some kind of camaraderie. What was really dope is that we got paid to go do an escape room just so we could connect.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which was cool. Which was so awesome. I was like, what? Which automatically planted us as like, oh, okay, cool. We're already got the connection. I think we even started a handshake and all that stuff, just so we could have that camaraderie. I didn't get a chance to play with my wife, and hopefully if they do a season 2, they'll show more flashbacks. I mean, they got to explain how I died, and they got to explain how he got his powers. So hopefully they bring me back. But from what I heard from Jean was saying that, you know, everybody took it so seriously because, you know, she's not Haitian native, but the seriousness of Yaya and I want to say Demetrius. No, it's not Demetrius. No, is it Demetrius who plays the brother? And the mother, the Yaya, and the brother. They all took it so seriously to make sure that it was, you know, authentic. They kept asking Jean questions and making sure that, you know, what they're saying makes sense, and, you know, really wanted to do it. Because, you know, sometimes if you don't know, and it's intimidating, especially Creole. Out of all the languages in the world, Creole is intimidating. I don't think people I don't think people understand how intimidating it is to try to like sound certain stuff, because like I said, our culture is so critical. You say one word wrong, it's like, oh, he's not Asian. No. It's like, oh, like, dang, dude. Like, if you don't put one O and you don't put the O, that's it. No, me say so sell all, me say no.
Hey, yo, bear with me a second, because I've rarely had that opportunity to ask this, but I feel like you might be the right one to ask this. And literally, this just came to mind when you just said that. What is OO? Where does that come from?
Oh Lord!
Don't get me wrong. I love it. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of like my wife is from Kingston, right? She's from Jamaica, so I'm used to, you know, they suck the teeth like a real long. So it's cultural things that just come with, like, and I'm wondering what's the origin story of OO?
OO is, if I were to look at the dictionary in Creole, it would literally say OO means expressing any occasion, whether if it's surprise, sadness, humorous, or is basically describing the way that you feel within whatever event that happens to you. So, for example, if somebody comes up to you and be like, "Oh man, did you hear about what's his name? He got in a car accident." And that's it already shows you like, oh shoot, this is cool. And then if something good happens, like, "Hey, did you hear Marie just won $1 million?" That's crazy. It's like, and then if you're in trouble, if you're like, you know, police pulled you over and they're like, boom, license registration, and you don't have anything, like, so you can literally use it just to express yourself in any way, in any situation. The OO helps you out, in any way. You can slow it down, you can speed it up. You know, it's beautiful, it's fluid.
Follow up. Is it exclusive to, like, if you heard some dude from Oklahoma say like, is it okay? Do you have
he might have a droplet of Haitian in his blood, because the fact that he said two, we'll be like, let me check this man. Where you from, sir?
Oh man. They tried to tell me you was
That's hilarious. I love how like different cultures have their versions of that, because I've experienced the Nigerian
Yeah.
And that's totally different. So like, thank you for putting us on to the OO.
Oh yeah, I definitely learned today, and we're gonna put this on an actual definition. I'm gonna make a reel. I'm gonna make like a post. The definition, the Merriam Baxter Dictionary defines it as. And now I had the 3 different using a sentence. You want my license registration? You know what I'm saying?
We know the situation right away.
That leads me into now. Listen, I don't want to downplay your many roles, okay? Because let's be clear, Mr. Bechir, you've been doing this a long time. Not long like old, but long like experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's one of the cool things about you too. Is like you're in a good place. You can play a young teenage, well, maybe a middle-aged, a mid-teenage. You know what? You can play all ranges. You know, let me just say right there, like you're in a good range. All right, pops in one, son in another. It doesn't really matter. But of all of the projects, some of which, like I said, BMF and a whole many that we're familiar with, this Jurassic World project to me. It feels like it's you before you got to America, or like, you know, there's a sense of authenticity there too. Like, do you tap into the same gene that you tapped into for Wonder Man, which is basically just like your kind of like just your roots? You know, it's like I get to play my roots and depict this man in a way. What were I know I'm asking a lot of questions at once, but did you tap into that same gene? And also, same question from Wonder Man. What were the notes? What did they give you with regard to details of the character that they wanted versus what it is that you gave the character after you became the character?
Oh man, Jurassic was cool, man. Like that changed my life in so many ways, you know, just to be able to not only be in a big franchise like this, but also work with some of the most incredible actors, you know, in the world. And then when I got the role, when I got the audition, it was only in French. They didn't say anything. And again, they were super secretive as well too. They only give me one scene to do. Oh, actually 2 scenes to do. One in the boat and the one where I dropped the bag. And that was me adding stuff. But and I just remember my manager hit me up. He was like, "Yeah, man, it speaks French. They speak French." I was like, "Oh yeah, I could do that. It's not a problem." But then I was just like, "Yo, let me just do it in Creole as well too, just in case." So I did it in 2 different languages, just so they could see the different options. And then I put my, you know, the Haitian humor in there, which worked beautifully. And then when I got it, I went to London and they were doing costumes. And I met, you know, everybody gets to meet with the director and all that stuff. And I talked to him and I was like, "Hey, man," and me, I do my research. Like I have like notes. When I tell you I got notes for all the characters that I do, like I have pictures, what kind of animal they would be, and like all the nerd acting kind of stuff. For Leclerc, you know, I literally wrote like a whole, I mean, I'm talking about like from magazines he would have to, you know, everything. Like, you know, what he would look like, where to put stuff in there. It's not even fair. Like his parents, I had a whole story about his parents and stuff. And I go in.
Right?
So I was like, "Hey man, you know, I was thinking if, you know," I sent all this to him. And then I was like, "Hey, I was thinking maybe he could be Haitian." And they were like, "Okay, well let's go talk." He was like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna ask Steven and we're gonna add whatever." And I was like, "Huh?" And he's like, "Oh, Steven Spielberg." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, he has to prove it." I was like, "What do you mean?" Wait a minute. He's like, "Yeah, he handpicked you guys." And I was like, "What are you talking about? This is crazy." So so I got the approval from him and I got the approval from Universal to change it to Haitian, which was great. And then I was like, "All right, give me a bracelet." And I was like, "Yo, give me certain things to make sure that I'm good." And also I wanted to make sure that it was French speaking Haitian because I did BMF already. And what else did I do? And I already shot Wonder Man. And so one aspect that people that I feel like don't understand, I'm like, hey, Creole and French is totally different. It's like Portuguese and Italian. It's like they might sound the same, but they're not the same. I might have certain words that you're like, oh yeah, bonjour, no, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be like, oh, okay, cool, I get it. So I wanted to make sure that people understood, like, yo, Haitian people speak French and not just patois or a broken down French, like French. So I was excited about that too. So when I got that chance, man, when I got the okay, I was just like, man, this is good, because especially around that time, Haiti was going through so much. And it felt like, I was like, look, man, if anything, it'd be dope to have us in that world and to bring a little hope and let people know, like, you know, it is possible. Because I grew up never seeing us, you know what I'm saying? I remember, I don't forget how old I was when Bad Boys 2 came out. And then I was so disappointed.
Wow.
I was so disappointed, bro. I was like, man, you know, and I came to this country when I was 13. And the entire time I was here, I never saw us. I never heard us. And then I grew up watching American TV in Haiti, but all in French. So if you were black, I thought you spoke French. So I thought Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was Haitian. I thought the Cosby Show was Haitian. I thought all of them were Haitian, especially Cliff Huxtable. I was like, oh, that's my dad. That's you can't make it more Haitian than that. And then to find out that it was all Americans, and I was like, oh, all right, well. So I got excited.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, let me stop you right there. So it's dubbed, right? Isn't it?
Yeah,
dubbed?
it's dubbed. But, you know, I'm a kid. I'm 13. Like, I don't know. I don't know anything. You know, I'm just, this is my intro to life. You know what I'm saying? My first.
Wait, so you have to tell us what that was like. Like, when was the first time you heard the Cosby Show in English?
Weirdest thing. It was so weird, especially like hearing everybody else's real voice. Like, some of them I didn't like. Like, I couldn't stand Will's voice, and I was like, "Why does he sound like that?" Like, it just sounded weird. And the only person that impressed the hell out of me, and I got to give it up to whoever French person that was doing Cliff Huxtable, is that dude. Because that dude had the whole "voulez-vous coucher?" I was like, yo. This dude dedicated his life to do this correct. Because the French, I mean, when you dub, it's so different. That dude was committed. that dude was committed, and I'm very happy for him. Because that was a smooth transition. But everybody else, man, I was definitely hurt. Because I was like, why do they sound like that? This is weird. So I say by the belt, Zach Morris. I was like, like, sound weird.
Like, what is that?
Not knowing.
No, we ain't gonna just let him just get by with giving us that. Did you see Haitian Heathcliff? Did you see him?
Yeah, the full
on. It's a new child. Sandra. What?
Exactly.
So, you know, wait, we're also just not going to let you breeze past this interaction. You know what I'm saying? With making the notes. I'm like, not you had your whole Wonder Man moment when you were preparing for Jurassic Park. Like, what you were saying, that you have all this stuff that you do to like curate your craft so that your character is well-rounded. And that's exactly what we were watching in Wonder Man. What was that like, having to like build that up and then get your notes approved? Like, you mentioned that you did it, but you didn't say what that looked like afterwards.
No, and that's what's cool about it, about what we do, man. I mean, I do look at it as a job. This ain't a mistake. I think there is a craft. I think there is a structure and a system to it, you know, even though sometimes, and some people say, no, it's just, you know, I just show up and I do my thing. And I'm like, that's cool. But me, I'm a craftsman, you know. I like, you know, and also I was an athlete as well too. So I like structure. I like knowing that I could get better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could always get better. You never arrive as an artist. So to be able to like try these things and then also finding the environment that allows you to try these things, you know, it's pretty cool. Like both for Jurassic and Wonder Man, you know, all the things that I would ask, and like that first scene in Wonder Man, you know, like that first scene where Simon is like, you know, what about if my character doesn't say this and da. Like, it's so mean, it's not even funny. It's like it was the most scariest thing to watch. I was sitting there and I was like, I think I'm Simon, y'all. Like,
yes, exactly.
I was like, this is literally me. Like, I mean, because I break it down to a T, like to the point where it's like, and you know, and sometimes I'll push my luck. You know, I'll be like, hey man, you know, I was thinking.
And they hit you with the like, maybe not. But it sounds like it's been working for you, because for you to just lean and be like, I'm making this Haitian, and then that worked out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and it's pretty dope when you see it, and when you see your choices being made, and people going, you know, oh cool, this is great, this is awesome, definitely. What else do you have, or just open to it, and also they see that, like one of the things that Garrett told me was Garrett Edwards for Jurassic. He told me, he was like, what I loved about you, Bechir, was the fact that you were trying to move the story forward. You weren't adding things just to add things. You were just literally like, I'm thinking, because this is how I'm thinking. I always think about the story. I'm always thinking about my character and how do I serve this moment? How do I make sure that the story in the whole makes sense? So when you see it, whether if it's a big role or not, it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna put something in there that's gonna make it go, like, wow, I didn't think about that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So I love that part. I love watching, you know, making choices and stuff and seeing it being made. And, you know, like one of my major pet peeves is when people don't eat food in movies.
Say that.
I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. Right. And I remember they were like, yeah, we're gonna give you a burger, we're gonna do this, but you can't eat it. And I was like, what do you mean?
It's just gonna sit there.
I was like, why are we in a burger place? And I can't eat a burger. I was like, fine. And so the fries, because I was like, fries is continuity. You could always change fries.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's because a lot of people did for continuity. Because sometimes, you know, then they have to replace the burger to make sure that it looks the same. How many bites did you buy? Because when they do a second take, you got to make sure the burger's the same. And I'm like, yeah, but there's ways to do it, and there's ways to be smart about it. Yeah. And so I was like, fries are easy to have continuity. So it doesn't matter how many fries you eat, you know, you still be able to do that. So it's always like, it's the little stuff like that when people allow me to play, because I know they were like, he's eating it. but I'm smart enough of an actor to know when I ate, what hand I was holding it with. Like I track everything. I'm literally, it's like a puzzle. So they always all surprised when they're like, all right, we're gonna do another angle. Do you remember? And I was like, the script supervisor comes in, he's like, so you had, I was like, yeah, I had to find this hand, boom, 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 and I put it in there, and they're like, oh.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not new to this, I'm new to this. It's handled, period.
I love that, man. And I love how, like, in this project, you know, you just learned that it was an actual biography about you. Like
no, for real. Like I was, dude. My manager was with me, man. He was seeing tears in my eyes because I was like, I was literally looking at. I was like, yo, this is. I'm Simon. Like, he was like, yo, I was like, I don't know what else to tell you. That this is literally what I go through every day. This is crazy.
Can I ask you something about that real quick? So you noticed that in your biography, Wonder Man, where your son gets a bunch of roles to play, we did notice that he had trouble with that, right? Like, you know, he was let go, spoiler alert, of one of the projects he was on. So does this type of thing creep into your realm as well? Do you overexert energy to the point where it could be, or maybe have you learned in certain instances that you got to dial it back a little bit, or how do you balance that?
No, I mean, the thing that's hard is you don't know why you're getting a no. You know what I'm saying? It could be so many reasons. You know, I mean, that those moments that happen with the first scene, I could see that. I don't push it to that level. I don't go to the point where I'm making people change the lighting and everything like that. You know, but at the same time, you know, it is heartbreaking when somebody busts their butt and work, and then suddenly you see, you know, you watch the show and then you're cut. That happens a lot. Luckily enough, that I think that happened to me like one time where my scene got cut, And it wasn't because I was over, doing it. It just didn't make it. Actually didn't even get to shoot it. And it was, oh man, this is a crazy story. So this is a crazy story because it's gonna I didn't find out till after Jurassic was done. So I get casted for my first big blockbuster. And it was Godzilla. And I was like, what? This is crazy. And it was with Bryan Cranston, and it was like right after Breaking Bad. And it was a small moment. I mean, this is the beginning of my career. This is like over 10 years ago, right? So I'm like excited, bro. I'm like, yo, I'm about to be in Godzilla, nigga, let's go. And it was a dope scene. And it was a dope scene. And it was like a very quick moment where they were in the train station, and one of the main characters is like in the train, and then the whole thing started shaking. We were at Universal. The whole thing started shaking and stuff, and then she's like looks at a family, and I'm here with my son, and I'm trying to basically be brave for my son, but I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me like, oh my God, we don't know what's gonna happen. And I was like, whatever. And then the monster comes in, and then she gets us out, and we run out. It was like a dope moment. I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool, like very whatever. So I'm all ready. I come in, and there was a night shoot. I'm all excited, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna play it like this, blah blah blah. We go down. We shoot her first because she's the star. We shoot it, and they're like, all right, cool. We're gonna turn around. We're gonna turn around and shoot you guys, blah 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 stuff. And I'm already excited, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm about to kill this. And then they're like, oh shoot, we're running out of time. We're not gonna be able to shoot it. And I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, I'm like, but it's just a turnaround. You just literally need to turn the camera around. Like, come on, man. And I was hurt, but I was like, they were like, yeah, but the director wants to talk to you. And I was like, and the director came up, and he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not you. It's not you. I just wanted to, just ran out of time, and at least you're gonna be paid, and you'll have the schedules, but I'll catch you in the next time. And I was like, oh man, that's so sweet. He's like, but great performance, everything was great. It's not you. I just want to make sure that you understand it's not you. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, well, whatever, man. And I remember talking about my wife at that time. I was, yeah, it was disappointing, but the director came to me and talked to me and said that it wasn't me, and I was all inspired about it. Why did I find out that was Garrett Edwards from Jurassic Park?
Oh wow.
Yeah. Literally, he was. But the thing is, both of us didn't remember this. The only reason why I remembered, after Jurassic, I came back home and I get a residual check, and it was like for $21 for Godzilla. And I was like, what? This is crazy. They're still paying me for this? This is insane. And then I was like, but then I remember he directed a Godzilla movie as well too, and also a Star Wars movie. And I was like, no. And I remember the guy was British, and I was like, no, it can't be him. And then I looked up, and I looked up, and I looked up, and I was like, yo, it is, man. And then I hit him up, and I was like, and I'm hitting him, I'm like, yo, do you remember this? And he's like, yeah, we were in Universal. And I was like, yes, remember you came to me? And he was like, holy crap. And I was like, the whole time we knew each other and we didn't.
That's
like,
awesome.
we to have this bond. You could have put me in more scenes, man. This is crazy.
That's right. Yo, first of all, that's a crazy story, just like you said. But it seems to have worked out. So that's awesome. Second of all, you ain't just gonna paint over the fact you just did a whole British accent to perfection. Did you? Okay, so that's the problem. It's like, brother. All right, so cool. Listen, I only got but a couple more questions. I don't want to keep you here all day. I want to respect your time.
It's all good. No, please, by all means.
My man. So but we'll still be respectful. The questions I have right now are kind of, I just want to cap off a little bit more of the Jurassic World stuff, and that you did share a lot of scenes with Mahershala Ali. And I'm just curious, like, what that's like, because if I'm being honest, this whole entire Jurassic World movie was kind of like being in a Marvel movie almost. You had Black Widow in the movie, you got Cottonmouth, played, you know what I'm saying? And so here you are with literally like a lot of Marvel characters in your wheelhouse. And one of them shares almost all these scenes with you where you like being hilarious. You were one of the funniest members of the cast. I mean, at least the character. I don't know if I told you that. Like, it really was hilarious. So, like, talk to us about the experience of working with the likes of Scarlett Johansson, working with the likes of Ali, and some of the other names that were in this star-studded cast.
I'll start it off like this: God is real, bro. That's all I'll say.
Amen.
God is real, and if you're not a believer, man. This definitely made sure of letting me know that God is constantly looking out for me, man. Because I would have never thought. We didn't find out Mahershala was in it until like a week in.
Oh wow!
Because they were still trying to find who's going to play Kincaid. Scarlett was in. I didn't meet her until we went to Thailand, and I, you know, again, with my work, man, and also being in the game for as long as I have. I got no time to be nervous anymore. Somebody asked me that a while back, and they were like, "You get nervous?" I was like, "It's game time." You know what I'm saying? And that's where the athlete part. That's where the athlete part comes in, because I'm like, "Yo, I don't care who you are. I'm here to play. I'm here to show my skills." And it was dope, man, to be accepted, because it was intimidating. Imagine you're playing ball. And then, you know, you're seeing, you know, Jordan at his prime, you're seeing LeBron at his prime, you're seeing Larry Bird at his prime, you're seeing all these cats at their prime, and then you're looking around and you're part of their team. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh snap. And at first, yeah, I was like, and they all knew each other. They all, you know, they've all played in this level. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there like, uh-oh. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this is insane, right? But the love that they showed me, man, Scarlett and Mahershala, I will forever look at him as a prince, bro. The way that he took care of us, all of us in a way as actors, where we, you know, my role didn't have that many, you know, dialogue, but the very little dialogues are when we're screaming out certain things and everything like that, for him to stay behind and do the scenes with us regardless, because he was like, nah, you guys put in the time, I'm going to stay and give you guys your lines. And when, you know, when they turn around, he doesn't have to be there, but he stayed. And while he was sick, he still stayed and talked to us, man. I was just like, oh, you a real one. And Scarlett making sure that she took care of all of us in creating an environment. I call him the captain. Every time I see her, I'm like, what up, captain? Because she was the captain of the ship. She made sure that everybody was taken care of and felt comfortable, and created an environment so we became like family. So she would like take us out on her yacht. We ate dinners and all that stuff. And it was just like, wow, dude, like you really are a genuine, amazing person. And also like the one-on-ones that I've had with all of them, man, and to really see how they really are like humans. Because, you know, I never, you know, like, you have an idea. When I first met them, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just stay in their trailer or their tent and never come out. Man, Scarlett would be eating with the crew. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man. Like, it was nothing. It was nothing, man. And again, like Mahershala just constantly just being there and just showing love and being supportive, man. I remember where we were doing the scene where we're walking into the mangrove and the water's up to here and everything like that. And I guess he was looking. They were like, all right, Bechir, we want you to come in. We just want you to come in here and just go this way. I was like, all right. And then Mahershala was like, man, you got such presence on screen, man. And I was like, oh, thank you. And then I'm like, I was like, there's 2 Oscar nominated. The would have told me that I got presents. I made it, Joe.
Oh man, I thought it would be like, say that one more time.
What was so beautiful more than anything else, man? Because me, I get inspired with music. Music is my thing. Like, if anybody's worked with me, you will hear my music blasting in either my trailer or in my little tent. And sometimes I think I took advantage of it a little too much. because it was only 9 of us. So it's like, when you're in single digits, you kind of want to flex a little bit, right? Even though there was 9 of us, and I'm number 8, but it doesn't matter. But the point is, I'm still a single digit, huh?
Right, we're still in here.
So I would play music. Like to motivate myself, and also like I'm really good at like assessing environment, especially when we're in an environment that we've been sitting there for so long and it's hot. This is summer, and this is Thailand, this is Malta, and this is like hot, bro. Like it's hot. and so sometimes I'll literally assess the situation, and I'll just put the music just loud enough so people could just groove to it. And then there's a video of us, of me and Mahershala literally bobbing together, and we're just like listening to Tribe Called Quest and just right before we shoot. And to the point where it became the norm. They'll be like, all right, music off. Okay, we're ready.
Oh man,
this is dope.
That's so dope.
I'm glad
you coming up.
That's cool as hell. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you, my friend.
No,
but it's really cool to hear that y'all was listening to music and it was hip hop. I'm not gonna lie, my mind went to what was it? Was it Zook? Was it Zuka? I was thinking it was gonna be like I can't sing extra music, but I'm sure there's a lot of cultural music that you probably could have brought to the set as well.
I played everything. I played everything from rock, from French music, you name it. I play it all. If it's a vibe, you're gonna catch it. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna catch it. I love that.
You're gonna catch it. You're gonna be like, oh shoot, this is dope. I've never heard this before. And I'll be like, well, it is. It's dope.
Let's get towards a couple. We've got a couple of questions from some of our viewers here that are curious about a couple things. I'm sorry, guys, I can't get to all of them, but there's a couple here that I can pick out. So here's one that I thought was interesting. This is a pretty good question, actually. Well, Bechir, how did you enjoy filming Black Summer? And why the cliffhanger ending? Will there be a season 3? I don't even know if you can. I don't know if you can answer.
Oh man, Black Summer. I think Black Summer is what really put me on the map as a serious / comedic actor. Because I got a really chance to it was a two-person hour movie in a sense. I mean, even though it was a show, each episode was an hour, and it was like an episode between me and one of my best friends. Actually, we got to work together. And there's a whole story about that, but I'm not going to waste time on that. But yeah, so working on that was so special because I got to work with somebody that's been in the same journey with me. And he booked this show, Black Summer, the first season, and he was one of the main characters, Justin Chu Carey, and it was incredible. I remember seeing him after. I was like, "Yo, you got a hit. That's it. That's it, man. You about to blow up, bro." And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Man, if there's any, that show." And I was like, "Yo, if there's anything that comes up, let a brother know." Then he called me up and he was like, "Yo, man, second season, there's an episode where they're asking me who I want to work with. It's just me and another brother." And I was just like, oh. And I was like, yo, and for me, being an actor, for me, I'm like, oh man, tell him Don Cheeto, tell him Jeffrey. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, I'm thinking for my boy, like, yo, if I had that chance of who I'm gonna work with, bruh, let's go after the big dudes. And he was like, it's you, dummy. And I was like, oh. That's cool. And he's like, but it's not a guarantee. You have to audition, and if they like you, whatever. And I was like, say less. And so I was like, but I need you to be my reader so they could hear you, how we interact with each other.
Yeah, put some sauce on it.
Exactly. So I did it, and they loved it. They loved it, and everybody approved. The producers approved. Jamie King, she was one of the producers as well too. She approved. And it was beautiful, man. And it was such a fun experience because I really got to if you get a chance to go watch that episode, I think it's episode, I want to say it's called White Horse or something like that. I want to say it's episode 6, but I'm not sure. It's the second season. that really shows me in a totally different light, where people literally after that episode, they were like, oh, this dude is something different, because I got to be funny, I got to be serious, I got to do that. And for the ending, the reason why they did it that way is because, well, yeah, the show's over now, so so the idea is my character real or in his head? My character is real in that world,
right?
From the history that you see, that we talk about, that really happened. But you don't know. After a while, if you look back at it, if you look at all the episodes, you're gonna realize, oh, there's a chance that he might not be real. And they do it very subtle, and I won't tell you how. You need to go watch it, where you're gonna realize, like, oh, why is it that he doesn't? Oh, yeah. And so the idea was for season 3 is to go back, when they were talking about possibly doing it, and which you never know, they might do it, is to go back to the beginning, because Black Summer, it started off right away. It started off like, bro, I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so real, people just running and stuff. And I was like, yo, at least start me with something happened. They're like, no, it's already happened. And I was like, what? This is crazy. So the idea was to go back before when it all started, and then you get to see all the stuff. And they were definitely talking about, Braithwaite being in there and showing, what really happened and whether if I died or not, you know what I'm saying, which would have been dope, because then when you watch the second season, you'd be like, oh, snap, he was
wow. I gotta say real quick, Black Summer is probably one of the best zombie iterations that's come out in the last few years. I mean, short of like 27 days later or whatever, 28 days later. 28 days, yeah. 28 days later. If you haven't seen it, just let me sell you on it real quick. Just imagine, like, you the first scene, you're in the world, and it's like a one shot. Like there's no cutting away. Like it's first person. You're in the car. You're running from it's very frightening. It's almost like watching it with VR goggles on, and you can't get away from it. Like you're like, oh, all right, let's run. Like what?
And what was great about it, you never knew who were the main characters. Like you'd be following one person, you'd be like, oh, okay, cool, I messed with this dude. Oh snap, okay. you're like, oh man, I was rooting for this cat. Like,
yeah, that's how it goes, man.
It was so exciting, and to see something, and then to keep it up in the second one as well too. I was like, wow, you guys are doing such a good job, because usually it drops in. And what I loved about it, what I tell, like, not because I was in it, I was a fan of it before, because I was like, man, as much as you have The Walking Dead and all these other stuff, and I was like, man, this felt so real, because I'm like, in a times like this, ain't nobody got time to fall in love when zombies are trying to kill you, bro. Like ain't nobody got time to be romantic. And I'm like, dude, some people trying to kill me. You know what I'm saying? Like the grittiness of it is so dope. Yeah. It's like, oh man, it's almost animalistic, and you're seeing these people acting like animals, and even the regular people acting like animals as well too. And all these instincts are kicking in, which is kind of dope. A dope way to show it. Whereas, no knock to the other ones. It's just sometimes I'm like, especially they got slow zombies. I'm like, man, come on now. Like, right. You got time to have a whole, soliloquy and talk, and then you're like, all right, we'll shoot them. Like, you have no time when you're being attacked the way that Black Summer did it, and it is such a great job with the characters. Definitely a must watch.
Absolutely. All right, my friend. Listen, we only got a couple more questions here, if that's okay.
Yes,
I've got one.
I had a question.
Oh, please.
Hold on.
Okay, you mentioned earlier about the potential for a Wonder Man season 2, and then finding out what happened to you as his father. Like, in my mind, I just already made it up that he also had powers, and something happened with his powers. So, like, have you thought about this? Like, what are you putting out into the universe for a potential season 2 so we can help?
Oh man, I'm gonna put what you just said. Yes. Please tweet about it. Tell them, write the writers and say, hey man, Panther should have some powers, y'all.
Yes.
He needs to have some powers. That would be amazing. I mean, what's cool about it, my imagination is very, very wide, and I could come up with so many things. And I'm hoping, either way, I know in the comic books, originally he was white, Wonder Man. So I know they're going outside of the norm of what the comic book says. Because in the comic book, apparently my character was, abusive and very mean and all that stuff, and total opposite. So so who knows? Who knows? But my dream is for it to be something like that, where I'm just gonna say it. I want to be Dr. Voodoo, to be honest with you. That's the real
Wait,
deal.
now you're cooking.
If they can figure out to make Stanford Dr. Voodoo, man, I think they'll have the best Dr. Voodoo in the world.
Because he's Haitian.
Gosh.
Right?
He's
Like Dr. Voodoo
definitely
is actually from Haiti.
Good, though.
And
I like it.
Dr. Voodoo operates in the afterlife. So
Right.
I'm just saying. There's a.
I see what he's doing.
You might have cooked with that, though. You might have cooked with that, though.
And
wait, so are you saying he's not dead for real, or he is dead for real? He just can still.
My imagination. That's what I'm saying. And how dope would it be? How dope would it be, though, to have such an endearing, beautiful father become a villain? Why did he become a villain, y'all? You know how creative and amazing that would be just to tell that story? Man. I'm just saying, Marvel. Yeah, look at me. I'm just saying, Marvel. Y'all have an opportunity.
Marvel line, yeah, no, that's crazy. I love that take, because in my mind, I just was like, I'm sorry, but I was like, okay, he must have died for not being able to control his powers and something. And in my mind, I was like, the older brother is weird with Wonder Man because he knows that his dad died saving his life from his powers like being too much. So he that's why he's like feels a way about the powers altogether. But I like your idea so much better. Like, that's crazy.
No, but both could happen. I think something like that happen, and then I end up being, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe with the powers, with the cosmos, or when it happened or whatever happens, and then bam.
So we're just gonna put it out into the universe. You gotta start going to whatever the superhero training camp or whatever is. So
because I'm telling you right now, they will not find a better person to play Dr. Voodoo, because man.
That's a coveted role, my friend. That's a very coveted role. But I love that right now we've already manifest you in season 2. Like it's there's no the fact that they left things ambiguous with your character. I mean, there has to be more character arc with regard to that, because like she said, we still don't have at least the theatrical version of how he gets his powers. We can read the comic books, but they clearly didn't go that route. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure we manifest this in your name. Hallelujah. And put that out. A couple others real quick, and Bree, please, thank you for chiming in. I didn't mean to step.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right, so
I'm happy now.
She's happy now. All right, I got this one, and I think that this is a good one as well. So, somebody wants to know, how do your parents feel about you being an actor? Because according to them, most Haitian parents or Caribbean parents want their kids to be doctors and lawyers only. Is there any truth?
It's not even. And again, my parents, especially my mom, she was like, "Oh, acting this year, no, this year, tout sacrifice que nous fait this year." Like it was, and it's so funny to watch someone. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, and I get it. You know, when I was younger, I didn't understand it. I just thought it was just pure, you just hating on me. But at the same time, I understand you left your entire world to give us a better life. And also in a world where there's a lot of stuff that you don't understand, you know what I'm saying? Let alone the language, but also how things work. You know, art in Haiti, it exists, and it's incredible, and people do make a living off of that, but it's not easy, and it's very rare, and it's at that time, especially at that time, it wasn't a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? You had Lucky Shot, you had Papapier, you had Pigam, you had a couple things out there, but it wasn't a primary thing, the industry. So it never feels like as if it was for us. So when I fell in love with it, and it was by chance, I was on the route to becoming a lawyer, like my dad. My dad was a lawyer. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll just do what he does because I love what he does. And he was also a botanist because, Caribbean people could only have more than 3 jobs. You got to have at least 3, and it's got to be like 3 difficult ones. It's like, I'm a lawyer, and then I'm going to learn about the world. Like botanist and sure, I'll do 10 years of my life. Why not? And so I was like, yo, I want to be a lawyer. And then my law teacher, she's responsible, to be honest with you, to put me into this path. Because she was like, hey man, because I want to do criminal law. And she was like, look, if you're going to do your opening statement, you need more stage presence. So why don't you take an acting class in the summer, just so you could, be in your body and all that stuff. And I didn't even know what that was. I thought it was, I was like, theater, movie theater? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, movie theaters in school? This is crazy. And then I just remember a bunch of people wearing black and being sad all the time. And I was like, this ain't for me, y'all. Like, theater kids are weird. Like,
I resent that as a theater kid.
They were all sad for no reason. I was like, why is everybody so sad? Like, this ain't real. This is pretend, y'all. This is pretend. Like, what is going on? So yeah. So like at first it was a struggle, man. And my dad, being the Cliff Huxtable that he is, he was so happy that I was following his track. And, when my mom be like, oh, what bet you don't, why are you wasting your time doing all this stuff? And he'd be like, yeah, why are you wasting your time doing all this stuff? And my mom would leave, and then he'd come up to me, he'd be like, okay, so when you're on stage, make sure you put your hand like this. Put your hand like this. It's the power of movie on stage. But you know what? Listen to your mama. I
know that's right.
I'll be like, oh man. But then eventually, once I started paying some bills, that's when, just like any Haitian family, like, they'll see a pic. Oh, you bought tout comme ça? Oh my God. Like, they pay you this much? Okay. Now she's my biggest fan. I wouldn't be surprised if she's on the chat right now. This woman, I don't know how she finds out stuff. Mommy finds a way, man. She's my biggest fan now. She's telling people, sending my stuff. She was like, oh, I send it trailer to. I was like, how you sending trailer? You 80-something years old. Like, yes, and I send. And I'm like, wow.
I'm gonna celebrate my baby. I know that's right.
She is so ecstatic and happy for me, and my family's happy for me as well too. But at the beginning, it was tough, and I understood because when you don't know that world and you don't understand it, and you want better things for your child, man, of course you're concerned. And it was never villainized, but it was definitely heard that they were worried. They were definitely worried, especially when I got like a scholarship to go to SMU for theater. It was a big decision, and I almost didn't go because at that time my dad got fallen real sick. He had cancer, and then it went to his bone, so it was almost a wrap. I mean, almost, it was a wrap. But and I had to make a decision because at that time I was the breadwinner in my house, and I had to either stay or go to SMU to do how many years as I can. And I knew I had limited time because I knew he was going to pass. So I was just like, I can either take advantage and try to get my education as much as I can, or stay here and keep working at the restaurant and, provide and see what happens there. And I remember my dad was like, nah, go. And I was like, what? And he was like, go. And I remember him, when I knew I got his blessing, it was like that Christmas, he looked at me and he was just like, you and Denzel, you Denzel. And I was like, all right, I'll take it, Dad. I'll take it. So he gave me his nod and was like, yo, you definitely do this. And then that's it. And I did. I left, came back to Miami. I did 2 years in Miami. I started a theater company. And then one day I was just like, let me press my luck. Just packed my bags and just went straight to California, with some cash in my pocket. And just gave it a try. And I've been here ever since. Yeah.
That story is so beautiful. Not only do you get to share moments with your father where he kind of condones your pathway and gives you the blessing to know it's okay, to try something new or try something different, not necessarily rest on the traditional doctor, lawyer, politician plan. But also for you to then do it and do it successfully. And I know that there's still mountains to climb, but you ain't at the bottom of that mountain no more. So it definitely
and truly, if he didn't give me that blessing, I would have stopped. I kid you not.
Wow.
He was my hero. He was literally my hero. If he would have been like, you know what, I need you here, in a heartbeat, I would have been like, all right, that's fun. Thank you very much. But the fact that he was like, no, you got something. And I don't think he ever saw me work, ever.
Oh no.
Which is sad. He's heard me practice. He's heard me, talk about it, and maybe I'll do a monologue here and there. But he just knew that it was like something that I really loved, and especially going to school for free over there. And I don't think he ever got to see me perform. My mom, it took her forever. I did plays in high school. She never came. And it was until my godfather came down and they saw me in a professional show. It was Intimate Apparel. Intimate Apparel. And I was playing George. Oh man, a Caribbean character that all the women fell in love, and then I cheated on my girl, and they hated my guts at the end. Yelling at me, "I'll kill you, George! I'll kill you!" So I remember that day when she saw me in that production and saw how many people were there and saw me perform. I just remember, and my godfather was like, "What? This is insane!" Like he was just so happy to see me. He was like, "I don't even." Like he didn't know what to say, and I just remember her quietly, just like kind of seeing how they're reacting to me, and then her kind of like, "Yeah, he is good."
Of course.
That's awesome. Well, your dad may never have got to see you, but you embodying him in this role in Wonder Man, I think, is full circle, and that's a beautiful way to honor his memory for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And not to mention the fact that, the more and more we talk about it, we kind of joked about it in the beginning, and I definitely don't want to make light of any family members, as we've all lost folks, especially folks that, helped raise us. But the more and more you talk, the more and more Simon Williams sounds like Bechir Sylvain. Like the more and more you it literally sounds. I'm not gonna lie. Have you auditioned lately and you had an anger management issue? Because I don't know, I didn't literally see it. But anyway, again, let me. I got literally 2 more questions. This was just a follow up. This was why you asked me. You just you don't have to go in too deep on this, but was Yaya's pronunciation of Mumi authentic? was that? Do you put your
remember how you said it?
Stamp of approval on it or not? And be honest and go.
I don't remember how you said it though. I'm gonna say yeah. Because you know why? Oh, no, trust me, I'm a very honest dude. I don't care if you did that. I'll tell you. I will give you notes. Like I don't care. I'll be like, man, I'm sorry, Denzel, but you said this wrong, especially about my culture. Like it's my culture. You know what I'm saying? Like I love you. I love the whole dead, but you said money wrong. So you gotta, I don't care. But I love you, but I will tell you straight up to your face, and you'll be like, "Did he just give Denzel a no?" Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And I'm fired now, which is fine. I got fired, but
right, I'm staying on business regardless.
But guess who said it right? When I watch it, I'm fired, and I'm in my trailer and watching it, and they're like, "Oh, but he said it right because of me." Thank you. But anyway, no. I think what was great is that they didn't push the agenda of making him speak Creole because he's Haitian American, right? That was smart of them to be authentic in a sense, because there's so many, like I said, there's so many layers of different Haitians, right? You got the Haitians that speak Creole and French and English perfectly. You have the ones that only speak English but understands Creole and understands French. You got so many levels, and I think he checks one of the boxes, which is the Haitian American that understands Creole but doesn't speak it at all. You know what I'm saying? And once in a while he'll say, maybe Mummy is the only thing that he could probably say, because when he was young, that's what he probably heard. But I'm liking the levels of it, and even like his older brother having to speak more Creole than him. They took their time, and I was like, oh wow, you guys actually care, because it would make more sense that the older brother knows more Creole than he does. You know, which is funny because for me it's opposite. I have an older brother, and we both I feel like my brother's on point as well too. I feel like my French is better, but but we might debate that, because my mom always like, this is the first child, so she got to look out for him. Like, could dad speaks French too? And I'm like, all right. I don't know if he does as much as I do, but I'll take it.
Yo, look, man, look. I got
somebody said first generation Haitian is different. I am first generation, but I speak and understand Creole. I have cousins that do not speak it out. Yeah, like there's so many levels. And what I need us to stop doing is stop hating on each other, right? Ooh. Especially nowadays, the whole you're not Haitian enough. Those days are done. They're dead. You can't no longer do that. Even though sometimes I make fun of my folks too, but I had to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it ain't helpful, especially now with so much negativity and so much. We're fighting. We are fighting right now, bro. And too many great things are happening right now in our culture, from the Olympics, from the World Cup, from Wonder Man, from Jurassic, you name it. It's time for us to start getting come together and really accept each other for who we are, and stop poking at each other. Oh, you don't know Creole. Oh, c'est français seulement parler. No shit, man. Like if you got a droplet of Haitian blood, if your great auntie cousin was Haitian, nigga, you Haitian. It's that simple. We're gonna claim you, we're gonna take you in, and we're gonna love you. Period. I make fun of you a little bit, but it's all out of love.
Well, sometimes we make fun of people because we love them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's an element of love with kind of what we used to call Joan.
No, but I'm telling you, our culture is brutal. The way we make fun of each other, it hurts to the core, bro. Like, man, it's not even Wilding Out. I was like, you can never put a Haitian on Wilding Out, bro. Like, they will hurt your feelings. They will hurt you. Like, for real. Dude, they called me white. When I went to Boston, I got a haircut. They were like, oh, Ganon Blanc. And I was like, what? And I feel like my Creole is pretty on point. And they're like, oh, Ganon Blanc. And I was like, oh, couper cheveux oh my gosh, bro. Like, it hurt me. I'm like, man, I grew up there. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But then it's out of love, and but I'm telling you, they're brutal. When they come at you, bro, you're like, gosh, makes you want to not be claiming anymore, because you're not doing something perfect. Or if you eat certain things, oh, manger maïs, and I'm like, whoa, I thought that was the thing. I'm sorry.
Look, man, I hope this ain't our last time getting a chance to talk with you, man. We're gonna have to wrap things up.
Again, I profusely apologize for my time, man.
I think you made up for it by having superpowers and by telling us exactly what "oh" means, and whether you say learn it. Like I said, I really wish we had another hour or so. Unfortunately, time's got to get cut short because it's Valentine's, and some of us got obligations and silly stuff like that. But I do want to at least get this last question out from our chat, which I thought was a good question, especially with you, in my opinion, right now, kind of leading the Haitian role. Like you're a leader amongst your culture, whether you want to be or not. You are right now, and that means with leadership comes responsibility. So one of these things is, with you now having these roles and being able to depict Haitians in a more authentic light. Our good friend, my man Anthony, wants to know, what advice would you give to a young Haitian or Caribbean actor who sees you and feels inspired? What advice would you have to give to them, my good friend?
I would say, first of all, I'm like very honored to be that, because I've my whole life I've been waiting to be inspired and see myself or someone like me to be like, there it is possible.
Yeah.
So number one, I would say know that it's possible no matter what. You have to know that it's possible. You can't, especially growing up as a Caribbean, whatever Caribbean, it doesn't matter what Caribbean, you're Haitian, Jamaican, you name it. It is possible, and you have to tell your own story, especially now. That you can't make excuses because either you don't have the money or you don't think these people are going to be interested in your story. Allow this inspiration or to allow this vision of seeing us up there be a factual thing, that it's a fact that your story is viable, it brings value to the world, and that it is important. And then study the craft, study and get good, get so good that it's undeniable. I don't think, like I said, I'm an athlete, and also I really study the craft, and I don't think I'm where I'm at by chance. I work hard. I work extremely, extremely hard, and I think everybody else should do the same. Those times, even though we have technology that could make it easier for us, don't fall for the okie doke and trying to find shortcuts. Learn it all. Learn the easy way and the hard way. So if the easy way breaks down, you still have something to stand on. Don't take shortcuts and do it right. And just do it right. Make your Caribbean ancestors proud by showing your work ethic and the way that you do things. And I guarantee 100% you will reach the level that you need to reach. That's a fact. I'm proof. That's all I can say about that.
Oh, that is awesome. As my whole system breaks down right at the end of the show. I remember I was talking about my wow, what a finale we have. Can y'all hear me okay? It's like,
yeah, we
can hear you.
His Wonder Man powers just kicked in. He knocked my internet off in California.
Exactly what it is.
Look, man, thank you for that inspirational answer. Thank you so much for pulling up. We knew you was coming on Haitian time, so we ain't tripping, So next time, it's all to the good. Merci beaucoup to you, my good friend. Definitely pulling up. Much love to you and continued success, my friend, as you start to navigate yourself and start to cement your own galaxy amongst the stars in this journey to get into the top of this mountain, of which we will be right here cheering you on and supporting you and imitating your Haitian accent behind you.
One thing I will say, man, the way you could really help a person like myself or any other Caribbean artist, man, follow us, man. Talk about us when you are excited about something. Those things help. You guys putting comments on Marvel and saying, "Hey, we love this guy. We want to see more of him," because we live in a world where influence is key, and if they see that you guys really enjoy me and my performance and everything like that, they'll keep you around. Because I'm still the new kid around the block. You know what I'm saying? Even though I've been there for a while, overnight success doesn't come easy. It takes 20 years, but they say 20 years before you become an overnight success. But it helps when you have fans, when you have people that have your back and that love your work and that push you up. So please, any Caribbean folks out there or anybody that you really think deserve that kind of love, follow them, follow their story, go to their Instagram, show them some love, and then show the shows that they are in love as well too, by saying, "Hey, we love this guy, we want to see more."
Period. Absolutely.
Oh, you don't.
And
There you go.
shout out to you as I get things back together, and while I'm listening to that inspirational message, we will definitely be shooting our suggestions to the Marvel folks about Voodoo Man. And I don't know, I'm kind of interested in seeing a Haitian Bill Cosby reenactment. Like, what's going on? With you, my friend. We can't thank you enough, Mr. Bechir. I'm probably saying the name all wrong.
No, you're saying it right. You're actually saying it right.
Bechir Sylvain.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, sir.
Almost Asian.
Yes,
Well, just give me a trick. And we will continue to follow, like I said, your journey. Thank you so much for giving us some time. Don't be a stranger. You have a home here if you ever want to get some word out or promote something, obviously. But we just sincerely love all that you've done, what you represent, and even what you have yet to do. We already love it, homeboy. So appreciate you. And that's going to wrap it up for us, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get on up out of here. We're going to say goodbye to Mr. Bechir and merci beaucoup to him and his whole family, including his mommy. All right. They're going to find me. They're going to find me. All right.
Well, we need to catch you. We need to catch you real quick.
I need to fly on in to Thailand. Let me stop. As we always say, hold on, Mr. Bechir, don't go nowhere. As we always say, guys, make sure you be your. Oh, and one time, thanks for our good homie Bree for pulling up as well. Follow the Pink Riot, if you will. Ahora mismo, right now. Pink Riot is there. Get your books and get your knowledge and get your entertainment from Pink Riot, especially on Thursday nights, every single Thursday night. But for y'all, make sure y'all be your authentic selves. Thanks for hanging with us. I know we went a little long today. I appreciate y'all that was here from start to finish. But as we always say, be your authentic self, because if you ain't being yourself, guess what? You being fake, and there's no honor in that. And if you a geek, just like our homeboy Bechir is from Marvel, you know he is now. He may deny it, but we know it, bibbity boobity. Go ahead and let that geek flag fly. Deuces.
The New Blurred Order is one of my favorite places to visit. I hope you'll join us next time.